Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to GameFace, episode 481, right here on SIFTD at SIFTD.net. 50 years combined experience covering the games industry in this podcast right here. And of course, alongside me to do that is the one and only Matthew Keil. How are you, Matt?
All right. I think if you add up just our interest time in the
Oh,
you're
gosh.
getting close to 100 there.
Seriously.
'Cause I was 3 when I first played Asteroids.
I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, that's just how long you and I have been paid to cover video games. That's how long it's been. So not many podcasts that are comprised of 2 people out there can boast that. Hope you guys are having an awesome day, and I'm sure that's why you guys are here, because you trust us after all these years of experience to give you guys the goods. And let me tell you, we got the goods for today's episode. We have an awesome freaking episode for you guys this week. We're going to review a couple big games. We're going to review Lego Batman, Legacy of the Dark Knight. We're going to review Yoshi.
That's when Yoshi becomes a 90s like R&B artist.
Right.
Yoshi.
We're going to review Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, but honestly, the bulk of today's episode is going to be getting you guys and girls ready for not E3 2026 / Summer Game Fest 2026. We are going to blow out the show, and we're going to have a little bit of a different focus on how we do it this year. In past years, we kind of just talked about every game. We're going to mention every game, but we're only going to discuss games in our preview there's a bunch of mystery around. So we're not going to talk a lot about games like Control Resonant, for example, because we've previewed that a couple times on the show. We're going to really focus on the games that we don't know much about, and we're going to try to figure out here how much of it we're going to see of each game, if anything, at E3 2026. So anyway, I do feel like, it's all coming up here very quickly. Like on PlayStation's thing is coming up here in a couple days, and like, it just feels like nobody cares. I mean, It's really crazy. I said this last week, but it really feels like this year is the year where it just completely fell off as far as like interest. Like it felt like we were kind of drafting off of E3 for the last couple years, but this year it doesn't feel like that's happening at all. It feels like it really has been left in the past at this point. So that's the way it is. Bottom line is there's still going to be a bunch of awesome games that are shown in the next 30 days. And we're here to help you guys figure out which games are going to be shown and what you can expect from those games. I had an interesting week this week, Matt. I got phished this week.
I saw that on the SIFTD thing, but I didn't read it. I couldn't tell if it was new or something that, I guess, old story you were telling.
No, it's a very new story that just happened this week. So I've been shopping for new microphones for GameFace and for other stuff that we do. And as luck would have it, I got an email from Shure Microphones. And Shure Microphones is the microphone we're going to buy. It's pretty much the microphone everybody uses at this point to podcast. Either those or what we're using right now. And so I've been kind of pricing their mics and trying to figure out what I wanted to buy. And as luck would have it, another email from Shure came into my inbox. And I had gotten several over the last few months. And basically what happens is if you're on YouTube and your email address is visible or able to be accessed there, you start getting emails from like influencer agencies and stuff. Hey, here's this product from China. Review it on your show or use it in your show. Or here's a video game from China. Talk about it in your show, do a little ad on it. You get those all the time. And so I had gotten several of those from Shure Microphones saying, hey, we know you podcast, like let's work out some kind of a deal where we give you the mics, you make sure the logo is showing while you do the podcast and it's all good. So finally I was like, well, you know what? I think I'm ready to finally pull the trigger on new mics. And so I went and filled out the paperwork for the influencer thing at Shure. And I went there and the website looked pro. All the emails, formatting great, no grammatical errors, all the links, even the links on the website for their social media pointed to Shure's social media website. I mean, it looked legit. And I'm the person that saves my family from phishing. I've saved people on my side of the family from it. I've saved people on my wife's side of the family from it. And so I go and I put in my information. They ask for a verification of your YouTube channel. I did that stuff. And here was my costly error and something hopefully everybody out there can learn from. So I thought two-step authentication always, at least one of the steps went through your phone. And so when they started sending me through like verification stuff, none of it went through my phone. It was just sending me these messages through Gmail where I would choose one of the 4 numbers that was showing on the screen or whatever. As soon as I did that, boom, I started getting notifications. I got like 60 emails in a minute. Basically, they went and took over our YouTube channel, took all the graphics down, didn't replace them with anything, just took them down, turned every video we had ever published on YouTube to live. So a bunch of old videos that were copyright strikes or whatever that were set to private, they turned them to public. And so I got like 100 emails about you cannot monetize this video like immediately. They changed the password.
Why do they do that immediately and not like dealing with it immediately?
Because it's a script.
Right.
As it turns out, it was a script, and that's what saved my butt. So they did all that stuff. They went in, they changed the password, they changed the email, they changed the backup password. They created all these keys immediately. So even if I changed all that stuff, they could still get back in with the keys. So anyway, it just started a whole day's worth of me going back. And the only reason I saved it, by the way, is the one thing, and I hate to even mention this live in case they're watching, but the one thing that they screwed up is they did not change the backup email address. I had this old, dusty Hotmail account that I had set up as the backup email address for our YouTube channel, and they had not changed that. And I found the email, and I saw that whole list of things there. I clicked one that said, change your password, and I got in. And as soon as I got in, it was a race for me to change all that stuff before they could get back in and like take it. It was insane. I thought I was going to have a heart attack because it's like a 12-year YouTube channel. It's going down the toilet. My hands were shaking so bad, I couldn't like input stuff on my phone. And somehow, some way, I did it. I got in, I changed the passwords, I got in, I spent a day and a half going back and cleaning up all the stuff, getting rid of their keys so they couldn't get back in later. And as it turns out, what I think happened was, once they got me, it just executed a script.
Yeah.
And I think it's a lot like...
No human probably ever looked at that.
Yep. And I think it's a lot like the crooks who put the fake gift cards back on store shelves and you go and use them and they drain the money off of them. Like, they're not checking those all the time. Like, they check them once every couple days. So sometimes you can get your money back. I think that's what happened here.
Well, it's like also like how you get a credit card leak and they just dump it all to something, and you may not get your credit card stolen, quote unquote, until someone happens to try your number 5 months later or something. Like you just never know when you're in a database.
So I got it all back. It was a nightmare. So just my public service announcement to you guys to avoid this, and it was a nightmare, man. I saw like my whole business just flashing in front of my eyes.
So like
what was their goal? Was probably what you're asking.
No, I was gonna like. So it was a fake microphone website, and so they asked
to verify the audience. So they're
yeah.
like, so you put in your information of your YouTube channel. It scraped the YouTube channel, and it popped up the exact number of subscribers that we had and everything. And then they're like, verify it, and I got the pop-up says, choose one of these 4 numbers. I looked on the screen, it was like 04. So I tapped 04. As soon as I did that, kaboom, it just went off.
So how did they get into the... I still don't understand how they get into the YouTube account with that.
Because I put the information into their interface.
Oh.
I thought it was verifying me that I was saying it's okay for them to go and scrape the YouTube channel to get the information.
Like with the password and everything.
Right.
Okay, so like you were hooking like your PlayStation account up to Steam.
Kind of the same deal.
Yeah.
Linking accounts, basically.
Got
Yep.
it.
And that's what I thought was happening, and it wasn't. They were fishing my ass, and they got me. So... all the things that you're used to spotting in phishing emails and everything, they weren't there. There were no grammatical errors. There were no weird links. There was no real weird formatting. There was no English as a second language. The English was all perfect. There was no clues at all.
I mean, that is probably an AI-generated duplicate of the Shore site.
Yep. So anyway, I'm just letting you guys know, like it used to be our parents were getting phished, and I had heard from somebody who would know that in the past, they would leave those grammatical errors in the emails because they wanted smart people to be turned off because they know that even if you're able to phish a smart person, at the end of the day, when you start talking to them on the phone and they're telling you to go to Walmart and buy a bunch of gift cards, you're going to be like, what? Screw you, and hang up. So they don't even want to deal with smart people. So they would leave those red herrings in their emails to throw the smart people off so only the dumb people called. They're not doing that anymore. Now they're just like, I don't even know what their goal was. Are they going to take over our YouTube channel and like try to make money off of ads?
Well, there's it's a dragnet.
Well, one thing they're
trying to get as many as they can, so they hope get one really valuable one out of like 100 people that fall for it.
The timing was great. So the payout for our YouTube channel was the next day. So that may have been part of it because I did go in and they had set up another bank account in there to try to take our money. It's crazy what they did. So anyway, just a PSA to everybody out there. I know you guys are like me and you thought you were too smart to ever get fooled by something like this or get basically swindled by something like this. The game has changed. And I don't know. I guess they were trying to take my payout, but then it feels like they'd be able to track that. I don't know.
Usually when something like, because that's very vibe-coded, what they were doing there. So I would imagine one of the things they would then start using the account for is to just throw, AI slot videos up and, you basically, you spam 100 of those a day or more and hope you crack the algorithm somehow. I mean, that's it's basically ruined like science YouTube by that. I mean, it's just endless stuff like that, and like other people's science YouTuber accounts have been compromised that exact same way too.
Yep.
And like all of a sudden, something you've watched 100 times is posting like crazy stuff with like kittens walking on their hind legs and shit. And you're just like, what is happening to these people?
And that's what's happening.
And it's like you never know. It's like, have you just lost your mind and gone all in on the grift, or like have you been hacked? Like,
Right.
You don't know really.
It was a nightmare, people. I literally saw my whole business flashing before my eyes, something that I have worked so hard on for so many years. And as soon as I started hearing those notifications, just... I mean, that's what it was like, because it was coming from my phone and my PC at the same time. And I was just like sitting there knowing what happened with all these alarms going off, just like my head was almost about to frickin' explode. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my business over frickin' phishing. And
as the kids would have said 30 years ago, you got pwned.
I did get pwned. There's no doubt about it. So anyway, I'm only telling this, obviously I'm not proud of what happened, but I'm telling you this because the phishers have changed. They are now going after people like us, whereas before they tried to filter people like us out. So
yeah, let me where I get like a lending mortgage email like every other day. That's like in like Victorian font on the title. I'm like,
yeah,
like that's I know that's not what the bank uses. So
they did other things that were smart too. So when I replied to the email at first, they didn't respond. 2 days later, they responded the day before the payout was supposed to happen. And I don't know if everybody gets to pay out on the same day on YouTube. I honestly don't know.
I don't know.
But they timed it perfectly for ours. Probably. They timed it perfectly for ours. And then the other thing that they did was really smart. First of all, the website was insane. Like, you could literally go through the whole process of signing up. And when you got to the point where you selected the products that you wanted for free, they only let me select one. And again, that legitimized it in my mind. I'm like, oh, okay, they're saying that I don't have 1 billion followers on YouTube, so they're only going to give me one mic. That makes total sense. And I went on through the whole thing, and no, I mean, they're getting real slick, man. Like, it is changing. They're not just going after our moms and our grandmas anymore. So I'm just telling you to keep an eye on this stuff out there. And I hope other gamers didn't get burned by it. I'm assuming other people did, because I contacted Shore about it on Twitter, and it didn't even care. It was like, we are aware of this, and that's all they said. I replied, I was like, hey, I can give you the URLs of the websites that they're using. They never even replied. And then the very next day, those websites were shut down. I've never seen anything like this, Matt. If you went there on Chrome, a big image came up in Chrome and said, do not go here. This is a phishing web. I've never seen that before. And then like the other website, like Cloudflare, wouldn't even let me go there. I tried to go another URL, and Cloudflare was like, nope, we know this is a phishing website. So I don't know if I was the first to send off the alarms, or if it happened.
It probably got a lot of people at the same time.
Probably. So anyway,
as far as you can tell me, that website may have only been 2 days old.
Yeah, there's no way to know. Yep. So anyway, just being honest with you guys, like I always am, and let you know what's going on there. D2 girls, maybe when I'm Shane's age, I'll finally get phished. I mean, I honestly don't think that has anything to do with my age at all. Like, I don't think anybody would have picked up on this, like the way that they did it.
I would not have put my password into that.
See, I have done that so many times, linking my account from PlayStation to whatever. And like, if you work in the press, you have to do that all the time. So when you sign up with Ubisoft PR or EA PR, you have to go and do that. You put in your YouTube channel, put in your password and stuff like that, and it's fine. So I've already done this like dozens and dozens of times, connecting our YouTube channel to prove our audience to PR companies and other companies. So this was just normal to me. Like, it didn't set off any alarms until I hit that number, and it went bring, and I was like, oh my God, what a nightmare. And it was a nightmare. But again, I'm very lucky. Like, honestly, if they hadn't made that mistake, I don't know what we'd be doing right now. So anyway, just a heads up, what's going on out there. Khalif Twilight says, if Google and Cloudflare blocked it, it's likely a political actor. I'm not sure what that means.
It means an outside the country effort that's trying to do something specific.
Gotcha.
And that's just part of their.
They got me.
It was probably part of their web, and they it may not have been specific to that specific website, but they got busted somehow.
So anyway, it was a really crappy week for your boy Shane, in addition to, I mean, I don't have time for this stuff, honestly. Like, my whole schedule is booked down to the minute, and that's me working 70-hour weeks to get everything done. When something like this happens, it just screws me so bad for, like, the next week, trying to catch up with all the stuff that I had, because I spent a day dealing with this when I was supposed to be editing videos and publishing videos. So anyway, yeah. It was a rough week for your boy Shane, but here we are, ready to do GameFace episode 481, and all hyped up and ready for Not E3 2026/Summer Game Fest 2026. One more thing before we get going into the show today. Next week, next Tuesday, is June 2nd, and if you've been on SIFTD, that date may ring a bell in your mind, because that is the day of PlayStation's Not E3 2026 press event. Now, it's a state of play that's pre-recorded, and it's going to run on YouTube, but it's happening at the same exact time as this show next Tuesday. So, we're going to do something we haven't done in years. We are going to tackle a live press event here on GameFace next Tuesday. So, we're going to start a little later, because the press event doesn't start until 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. So we're going to start our stream at like 1:30 Pacific, like 30 minutes later than usual next week. And then we'll do a little 30-minute pre-show leading up to PlayStation's big event at 2 o'clock Pacific. And then at 2 o'clock, Matt and I will sit here. We'll watch the presentation with you guys. We'll have some live commentary. After it's over, we'll go through all the big announcements, and we'll do a big Q&A with you guys. It will be an awesome Not E3 2026 blowout. So us going back to our roots, hopefully all the technical stuff works out.
I was going to say, or all the tech will fail, and you'll get to hear Shane swear very creatively.
that could happen too. But anyway, so for the first time in a long time, we're doing like a live talk over thing. It's really crazy to me that so many publications still do this. Like, I see Easy Allies doing it for the dumbest games, and I'm just like, no one's going to watch that. But maybe they do. I don't know. It's really crazy. But we're doing it next week, dang it. So we'll be here at 1:30 p.m. Pacific next week instead of 1 o'clock, a little bit later, and we'll be here to rock out Not E3 2026. All right. That's all the housekeeping for this week's show. We're about to kick off episode 481, but before we do, here's a word from our awesome sponsor, LS Cream.
It's LS Cream, the fine cream liqueur crafted by fellow gamer and sifter Stevens Charles. Inspired by the Haitian drink crémasse, LS Cream delivers an award-winning experience with every single pour. One sip and you'll see why. It's a party favorite. The silky blend of fresh cream and premium neutral grain spirits mixes great with everything. I dare you to put a shot in your coffee. I've been drinking it for years, and still, I find new combinations that taste incredible. LS Cream is the kind of drink that keeps surprising you thanks to its notes of vanilla, cinnamon, nutmeg, and coconut. Take it to any gathering and watch it steal the spotlight. We've never seen anyone resist. Ready to join the fan club? Head to creamls.com/sifted for recipes, retailers, and online orders. That's creamls.com/sifted.
That's right, people. Don't forget the LS Cream 5K challenge is going on right now. Head on over to creamls.com/sifted. Fill out all the paperwork there. Get your name in there. Get yourself a bottle of LS Cream. You can do that on the website as well. Once you get your bottle, make yourself your own original drink. Maybe make up something with Sifted in the name. That would be pretty cool. If you do that, make sure you go on Instagram, post a photo of it, tag LS Cream, and cross your fingers, and you could win $5,000 in the LS Cream 5K challenge. Go and do it. We didn't check in with chat, but I did see a couple comments here. I saw, let's see. Silk Snake says, what's a dumb game? Something you don't like? No, maybe I spoke improperly. It wasn't a dumb game, it's a dumb stream, because they're picking games that there is very little interest in. So it's not a dumb game. It's a game where if I were to think about like setting up a live stream to like talk over its debut, I'd be like, nobody cares about that game, so the stream would be dumb.
I think you're talking about places that like the appeal of that is that they're live interaction with the people as opposed to whatever they're covering.
Right.
Like that's usually the appeal of a site like that or a team like that.
Yeah. I mean, just interactive. I mean, here's what I've realized is like the interaction with fans is like what matters the most. Mm-hmm. That's been like, so we've been doing GameFace TLDR, and I would argue that it's vastly superior to the long version of GameFace if you just want to get game information, because it just cuts out all the chaff and it's just our conversations about the games.
But if you just want game information, you can go to IGN.
Right. So that's what I've discovered.
Or just look at Sifted.
Right.
Like, if you just want the information, you don't need us. Like, you come to us for analysis and to interact, basically.
Well, we still have the analysis in the show, and it's really cut to just the analysis. But what first of all, it's hard to decide if anything works or not because of the YouTube algorithm. It's like, I don't even know why I try new stuff, because we're still going to be cordoned down or held down by the algorithm, which says, hey, you have a YouTube channel that's old and it doesn't have 1 billion followers yet. Nobody cares about you. And so we just get shoved down in the algorithm. So it doesn't matter if we could produce the best podcast in the history of all podcasts, and it wouldn't matter.
You could try it as like game. I think somebody already said that. Like try GameFace TLDR as its own channel.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like I need to start new channels for almost everything we do. It feels like doing everything on one channel, unless you're an IGN.
I mean that's what Hank Green does, and that man certainly knows how to get a YouTube channel.
Yeah. So anyway. It's not that I thought the game was dumb. I think, in my opinion, it was dumb to do the stream for a game that I can see all the data that has very little interest. So that's what I was getting at.
Was it?
I'm just talking about, like, they'll do
general?
just like a little indie game or something like that. I'm not saying the game is dumb. I'm just saying you're probably going to get 20 people to show up to your stream, and there's a lot of work around that.
Something like that. I bet they get more than that just because it's them going live. There's more about them than the game.
Yeah, it could be. Also, Silksnake, I got a bone to pick with you, brother. You called me out on the show a few weeks ago about Tomodachi Life, saying that there was a random Mii creator in that game. And I just took your word for it, and I was like, oh, I must be wrong then. I wasn't wrong. There is no random Mii creator in that game. I don't know what you're talking about, man. You totally went after me in the chat that day, and you were wrong. So anyway, just thought I'd bring that up. Did you see Mandalorian and Grogu? Don't talk about it too long.
I did.
You did? Is it as bad as people say?
No, it's fine. But it's like, on one hand, it's fine. It is a long episode it's like a half a season of the show. And that is also a criticism of it, you know? Also, part of the problem is that is 2 movies. Like
How long is the whole thing?
I don't remember.
3 hours?
It felt pretty long.
Yeah.
No, it's like 145.
Oh, okay.
It's not more than 2 hours.
So you're saying 2 movies of information jammed into inside the one film.
If it was in the season, it would probably have been stretched out to about half the season. Probably like 6 episodes, 4 or 5 episodes, maybe. Like 4 episodes. Yeah, that seems about right. So part of the problem is that it does feel like episodes squished together, and to the point that you can kind of see where the episodes would end. Like there's a couple of hard fade outs where you're like, oh, that's where the episode would be over. It's kind of 2 movies where the first half of the movie is really interesting and fast-paced, and it's about him hunting. You see it in the trailer. It's about him hunting down Imperial warlords. Like basically, he's hunting space Nazi war criminals, right, for Sigourney Weaver. And then because of something he does during that, the second half of the movie becomes a whole thing involving the Hutts, and Rada the Hutt, who is the big swole Hutt in the trailer, who is the baby Hutt that they rescue in the Clone Wars theatrical movie with the animated one. And that
you got 5 minutes. Like they were going down a rabbit hole here.
And that well, because that's the interesting part is like both of these movies both that Clone Wars theatrical movie, which I would say is probably the worst performing one. I think it's by far the worst performing. The first half of that movie is a more interesting story that more relates to the main story of Star Wars. And both of these movies then pivot to a slower pace, less interesting second story that is about rescuing the exact same character, Rada the Hutt. Like they're both it's the exact Hutt. Like it's like what are you doing?
What are they doing?
And I would have definitely watched the Mando hunts Imperial war criminals story for a whole movie, rather, because here's the thing, and I've said this about Outlaws several times, and I think they need to learn this lesson. Maybe they will now, because it looks like it's going to make the least money of any Star Wars movie, including Solo, although this only cost like half of what Solo did, so it's not a disaster.
I saw a lot of people saying the worst Star Wars movie ever.
Not remotely.
No.
Like, you're out of your mind if you think this is worse than Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
Rise of Skywalker is probably, effects-wise, cinematography-wise is better, but it's
about the story,
it's a bigger screw up in every possible respect, and Mando is just sort of fine. It's just sort of there. Like the effects are cool. There's some cool stop motion robot. Phil Tippett came back and did stop motion animation for some robots in this. It's very cool.
Wow, that is cool.
And the action scenes are good. Like there's a bunch of good action in it. It's just sort of, you don't really care, like, because it's just him and Grogu, and he just sort of does his droning sort of like thing, and like he's basically invincible except when the plot needs him to be a moron to get captured or whatever. And it's like he has like a cheat code all the time, except when he doesn't, and that's not very interesting. And really, they need more people for him to bounce off of. Like, they need the supporting cast, but they've lost most of the supporting cast because Gina Carano
Oh,
did
right.
what
I
she
forgot
did.
about that whole thing.
And instead of being in this movie and having a Star Wars career, she got beaten in 17 seconds by Ronda Rousey. Well done.
And got paid $1 million and some dollars for that.
I mean, yeah, they were both all smiles after that. You notice because they both got paid.
It looked like it was all fake. It looked like it was all fake. Is what it looked
and
like.
then and Carl Weathers is died, so you don't get that character.
Yeah.
So all his supporting cast basically got pulled off the stage.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I guess I guess they
Grogu was in a chatty. So.
Yeah, Grogu did the same. I mean, there's whole stretches of this movie where it's just like puppets saying gibberish to each other, and it's cool to see real puppetry again. But it's like not in the service
for the casual viewer. They don't care.
And it's like it has no connection really to the show. It doesn't tease more. So it's self-contained. It's like you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me like when we were kids and we'd watch a cartoon series, and they'd make a movie, and you'd go see the movie, and it had nothing to do with anything in the show, and like you couldn't really tell when in the show it might have taken place outside of, I guess this is between season 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Like this one, other than a couple of things like that, Grogu obviously is past the part where he trained with Luke. This could have happened anywhere. There's no. It's just like, here, go see a movie with these two characters, and it's like I like these characters, and I enjoyed watching this Star. It's like Outlaws. Like take everything I've said about Outlaws and apply it to this movie. It's like I love the world. I love seeing like the everyday life in Star Wars. I love that he goes new places, and you see like, oh, that's what people are eating at a stall on this planet, and this planet like has like these weird things in it, and that's what this planet's like, and this planet has like. There's a dark side and a light side. They never, the Blade Runner city never sees the sun, and the other side never sees the night. Like that's really cool. But then you got to get back to the whole like, oh, this bounty hunter that was in like one episode of Clone Wars is here,
and you're supposed to care.
I guess. I mean,
so it's bad, but not as bad as people say.
No, not remotely. But I don't even think it's bad.
Really? You don't think it's bad at all?
I think it's fine.
Oh, okay.
But again. For the return to theaters for Star Wars after 7 years, you needed better than fine.
You wanted a knockout,
right? You needed. I mean, everything's riding on Starfighter at this point. Sean Levy's Starfighter, which might deliver because he's a good filmmaker. But then after that, like today, Dave Filoni said his vision for the future of Star Wars is dare to be great. And it's like, well, let me know when that starts, Dave, because so far you've got this sort of okay thing, and then. You've got Simon Kinberg, the guy who fucked up Dark Phoenix twice, directing and producing, or writing and producing the next trilogy.
Yeah.
So if I were him, I'd be cleaning house a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, I trust more or less Dave Filoni's vision for the IP, but I just hope everybody internally is willing to play ball with him, because this movie very clearly was Jon Favreau writing and directing, with all the good and bad that comes with that.
Yeah.
If you've seen season 3, which was all written by Favreau, you kind of know what I'm talking about, where it's like they just won't let these characters evolve. They won't let
all right, like, we got to call it.
That's it.
You can't keep talking about
it. It's just Grogu doing the same thing, Mandalorian doing the same thing he's always done, and if you think that's cool, great, but this part of the Star Wars universe is just not moving forward at all, and I think that's what people are mostly reacting to when they are so harsh on it.
Gotcha. All right, thank you. Well, there you go. There's his review of the new Star Wars movie. I had forgotten it'd been 7 years.
Yeah.
It's a long time,
Rise of Skywalker was the last one.
Wow, it's crazy.
I'll tell you, they should have just released the last 4 episodes of Clone Wars, that thing with Darth Maul and all that. If you watch that again, that is very clearly intended to be a theatrical release. That 4-parter that ended the series.
Yeah.
Like, it's clearly got more budget. The cinematography is on a whole different level. It's moody and I mean, that's one. If you released that theatrically, it would be one of probably the top 5 Star Wars movies of all time. But instead, it's just 4 episodes that are trapped on Disney Plus forever.
All right. It's time to kick things off with our first topic for GameFace 481, and we're going to lead things off with Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Now, I have not had a chance to play this. I was playing another game we're going to review in today's show, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. But, Matt, you spent a big chunk of time playing this game.
Yeah, I've played about 10 or 11 hours of this, I think. And I'm like, I think the percentage per completion is like 21% or something. Because the story, you can beeline through the story in probably 12, 15 hours.
That's what it looks like on YouTube.
But like,
full playthroughs.
It's hard to do that because there's a lot of stuff to do in the open world. Like once you get out in the open world, which takes a while. But
the other thing too about the full playthroughs on YouTube is that they chop out where they get stuck or when they fliddle around. So that isn't always an accurate gauge of how long the game actually is.
Now, to be fair, I don't know how you'd get stuck in this game.
Yeah, it seems pretty simple,
pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
but so this is.
This is a mashup of like every Batman story, right?
So this is the most comprehensive Batman game ever made.
Wow.
If you can think of it...
Although to be fair, Batman games were terrible for a really long
time. But like, if you can think of it, Batman-wise, it's in this game. Like, for instance, here, this is the very first level where you play as young Bruce on the night his parents get... the evening they're about to go to the movies and the parents are going to get murdered. And you have to collect your Grey Ghost costume, which fans of the animated series will remember is Adam West's character, the Zorro Shadow-style character that Bruce grew up adoring, and that's what he kind of patterned Batman after. So there's a lot of little fan service things like that in there. And he does the whole thing where he falls into the cave, which is played like the Nolan trilogy with Why Do We Fall? So we can get back up, that whole thing, which is made fun of relentlessly up to and including... famously on the they've posted the clip everywhere, but at one point Alfred, who is played more like sort of a mix of the Andy Serkis and Nolan version. But he actually does the thing where now I'm blanking on the guy who played him and the British guy who played him in the Nolan,
I'll never know.
Nolan movies. So he made that actor famously made a tweet that was like, "Why do we fall so we can get back up again? Batman Begin." As not getting the name of the movie right. And in this game, Alfred actually says that. With up to and including the Batman Begin voiced out loud, which is a reference to that like mistweet that became a meme.
Interesting.
A lot of stuff like that in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like there's a lot of nods like that. It also,
very pop culture aware.
Yeah, I scrubbed through some footage of this. I did not play it at all. And one thing I was surprised at is it feels like there's like nothing sacred in this. Like they cracked a joke after his parents died.
Yes.
Which I don't know how Batman fans feel about that, but as somebody who's not like a gigantic Batman fan, I was still kind of like, whoa, wow.
Everything's on.
Was I overreacting there?
I mean, you're not Bruce Wayne. It's not sacred ground.
Yeah.
I mean, also like after what Snyder did to all this shit, like nothing's off.
That's a good point.
Nothing's off the table. Like you will notice it never references any of that. It does not touch as far as I've seen. It does not reference any of the Snyderverse.
Yeah.
But everything else, if you can think of a movie, TV show, version, comic book, toy, anything, it's in here. Yeah, they've licensed all the music, and they just mashed it all up into one story of Bruce Wayne's entire life, basically. They start with him as a kid, they move to this.
It moves fast.
It moves pretty quick early on. It slows down.
Does it?
Once you get, I mean, after this, you go into the training at the ninja monastery from Batman Begins, and mashed up with his relationship with Talia during that, and that goes on. And like here, so the guy who kills his parents is Jack Nicholson's Jack Napier with the Dance with the Devil in the Pale Moonlight thing, and then later he shows. So after you come back from the monastery,
there's the line.
Yeah, they go into the Batman. And with you against Falcone, and there's Falcone. So they're mashing up all the different continuities into one big sort of continuity.
It's a big job.
And with a Penguin as his side, his enforcer and stuff. And Jack Napier is one of his guys. But then Jack Napier, halfway through the Falcone chapter, shows up as the Red Hood, which fans will know that's what he was doing in The Killing Joke before he gets knocked into the chemicals and becomes the Joker. But he calls himself the Red Hood 1. Which there's been like 5 Red Hoods in DC, and that's how comic nerds differentiate between versions of the characters with the same name but are different people.
Yeah,
is Red Hood 1, 2, 3, Robin 1, 2, 3. So he's calling himself Red Hood 1, and so all the other characters are like, we got to get the Red Hood 1, and like that's a very deep cut comic nerd joke, but it's funny. That's the kind of so here's Penguin, like he is in the Batman and the Penguin series as the enforcer, but then like after you've put Falcone away and done all that stuff, he runs for mayor and becomes the Penguin from Batman Returns.
Yep.
And then in the club here, you'll run into Selina, who is very clearly the Selina from The Batman, but then she shows up as the Michelle Pfeiffer-style Catwoman later. So every version of Batman is being pushed together, and in each era, and like it's like the Jeffrey Wright Commissioner Gordon, but he will kind of become the different Commissioner Gordon sort of personas as you go through.
Yeah.
Like it's every movie, every TV series, like anything you can think of, it's all in here.
Seems very clever.
This is, in terms of that, and in terms of what you play, in terms of what you have access to, it is very much the Lego, like the everything you can think of for this property Lego game that I was hoping Skywalker Saga would be, but wasn't.
Yeah.
This this delivers in the way that Skywalker Saga disappointed. And it's honestly, if you are a Batman fan, like, you should not ignore this game at all. As long as you can tolerate the Lego stuff. Like, the Lego stuff is very much what it's always been.
I mean, it's slapstick comedy the whole time.
Like, you see right there, like, if someone's walking through a door, coming through a window, or getting out of a vehicle, someone's going to fall over.
I mean, there are just jokes constantly. And they're funny. Like, I
fire.
legitimately laughed at several of them. I was just skimming through footage of the game.
I mean, there's an American Psycho reference in this that I did not see coming. I mean, there's jokes in here for kids that just want to see people fall by slipping on fish. And there are jokes for people who have, been watching movies since the 80s.
Yeah.
Like, it's
what
something for everyone.
A job it is to do this. I mean, as somebody who has to cut down this show from 3 hours to 1 hour every week, it's hard. Like, I can't imagine cutting down all these years of Batman history down into just one game.
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot going on. And, like, all the references to everything. You walk around the open Gotham. It slowly opens once you get the Batcave set up. Like,
now, it takes a while before the open world shows up, right?
Yeah, because you're not in the open world probably until later in this chapter, where and even then you're pretty guided, and you don't have the tools to really, like, interact with any of the stuff in the world yet. They give you the Batmobile. Gordon sort of teaches you how to drive around. And
now, how do you like that? Because the Batmobile was a huge point of contention for you for the last Arkham game.
Oh, well, this is the Batmobile, not a stupid tank. That's why.
But what's the difference?
I can get in and out of it whenever I want.
You couldn't do that in Arkham Knight?
I mean, you could, but you had to play certain sections in it whether you liked it or not.
Oh, so you're saying you didn't like that there were certain mission objectives you had to accomplish.
I don't like
with
that
the
half the
Batmobile?
game is spent driving a tank, because, like, that's all, like, story-driven stuff. Like, I cannot fight Deathstroke outside of the tank in Arkham Knight.
Right.
Like,
and there's no missions like that in here where you have to fight in the Batmobile?
Not so far, because the Batmobile doesn't work like that. Like,
it has no weapons.
It does. Like, eventually you get missiles and a tow cable. So there are parts where, like side missions or sections of missions where you have to chase a guy and ram it until it blows up, or hit it with missiles and tow cable it so you stop it.
So there's, like, car combat?
Sorta. I mean, it's about as simple as car combat can be. But there's nothing like you have to, like, solve this. I mean, and there's, like, sometimes there's a puzzle where you have to park the car on, like, a weight plate or something. But the thing is, you can just summon the car wherever you are and just drive it in, and then you're done. It's not like Arkham Knight, where it's like, you gotta shoot the line in here and drag it down and then stop it and pull it over here. It's like you have to solve whole puzzles by driving around the block in this thing. And again, it's just a car. It's not a tank. You don't have to have these huge tank battles with these random tank things.
Yeah, I mean, the battles in that were intense. Like, you're fighting, like, 10 other vehicles and stuff at times.
It's just, the Batmobile in this is a way to get around Gotham, period.
Gotcha.
And that's all it should be.
It's not a crux of the gameplay.
No, it's not. And I think there's 30 Batmobiles. Like,
wow.
If you can think of a Batmobile, it's in here.
Wow.
And there's more if you can hook up, like, your HBO Max. And there's I think it's, 30 Batmobiles, and I want to say, like, 140 costumes.
Wow.
And those costumes also cover all the other characters. So he gets sidekicks. The game really opens up because you get Gordon and Catwoman in first and second. And the game really opens up once you get Catwoman, because she can manipulate a bunch of stuff, and she's the one who can open a lot of because there's
how does that all work? Can you change at any moment you want to?
Yeah, in the open world, you can switch between your sidekicks whenever you want.
And there's 8 total playable characters. Is that right? 8 or 9, I think.
I think so, but I think there's only, because I haven't gotten through all of it yet, but judging by the costume sections and the skill trees, I think there are 5 sidekicks, and I just think that there are a number of Robins.
Okay.
I think there are several Robins. Because there have been at least 5 Robins. So it depends how many there. I would imagine Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, and Jason Todd will all be their own things, and eventually Jason Todd will become the Red Hood, which is he'll get a number of his own. I imagine they'll call him Red Hood 3 the whole time or something.
Yeah.
And maybe I assume Dick Grayson will be Nightwing at some point. I'm not sure I haven't really looked up what the future of the story is.
Do you miss all the playable characters? Because most Lego games you have 50 or 60 or something.
I think the focus on this is better.
Okay.
Because how many of those do you ever really use?
Like 10 out of 60.
Barely.
Usually, yeah.
And so now you just, you come up to a thing that looks a certain way, okay, I need Catwoman's whip for that. Great.
Yeah.
I come up to a thing, it's like, you're not like looking through, like, okay, I guess I'll use one of 40 Jedi for this, and like whatever.
Yeah.
It works better. There's a little bit of, like, contrivance where everybody has to end up with a grappling hook somehow.
Just so they can get around.
Because they get around with Batman, and everybody's got a glider of some kind, which is, it's just fine.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
But as you can see, it plays very much like Arkham. The grappling and the flying and the diving.
The whole mechanics are identical.
They're all very much taking. The combat is a simplified version of Arkham.
Now, it seems like there's a lot of combat. 'Cause again, I was just scrubbing through footage, and it felt like every time I stopped, there was another combat sequence.
Somewhat. I mean,
lots of fisticuffs.
I haven't really thought of it that way.
No.
It's fine.
Okay.
The difficulties like the higher the difficulty, one of the ways they up the difficulty is they throw more enemies at you. So I think if you're seeing an absurd amount of enemies, you might be looking at someone playing on Dark Knight difficulty.
Okay.
I'm playing.
It does seem to be the most common complaint about the game across all the reviews is the combat.
Yeah,
that it's repetitive and samey, and they got tired of it.
I don't really care.
Yeah,
it's fine.
When you say it's simpler than the Arkham games, how do you mean?
I mean that the combos are simpler and the enemies are less aggressive, and you can interrupt to do the counter at any time, no matter what.
That's good.
Also, when you do a counter, if you accidentally do a counter, you do not lose the combo. So it's more forgiving in that regard. It's more forgiving in jumping over the shield guys. Like it's just not as demanding, which tracks because you don't get XP or anything from it. So you generally aren't. It's not like when you get in a fight in Arkham and you're like, okay, well, even if this is another fight with a bunch of random goons, I'm at least gonna get a little XP and get closer to the next level. That's not true in this. You don't get new items. You don't really get some of you get health, but health is not hard to come by in this.
So do you find yourself running from fights instead of
no? Fights are mostly mandatory. Like usually you have to clear something out so you can interact with something.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it's fine. I mean, they take like 30 seconds. It's not an issue.
Yeah.
But you can see if you stun a guy, you get the fast combo like you did in the Arkham games, and there's the counter, and you got to dodge out of the way, and then it's Arkham Light, and there's your finisher, which instead that's not from combo meter. It's from if you look at the little circle around Batman's head in the lower left of the screen, that's your focus meter. When that fills up, you can do the auto combo or the auto takedown, and that can be. There are various skills you can buy in his skill tree or upgrades you can use in the skill tree that make basically everything give you that meter. So,
skill tree is pretty simple. There's only a couple paths.
Yeah. Each character has 2 paths.
Yeah.
Basically a traversal path and a combat path.
But this isn't an action RPG. No, you don't need more than that.
It's a Lego game, and it's fine.
Yeah.
It's kind of more of a celebration of Batman than anything else.
Yeah.
And I think they get that. The new Batman voice is pretty good.
Yeah.
I
was okay with it.
Yeah, he's fine. Like he's no Will Arnett. Like he's no Will Arnett, but also it's not going for the tone that Will Arnett's Batman Batman
that's
has.
True.
Like it's that nothing is serious in those in the those Lego Batman things. This actually does play a couple of things straight, which is obviously interspersed with instant jokes. Like it's a pretty delicate balance in that regard, but he does fine. Again, everyone who ever voices Batman is going to be working in the shadow.
Yeah,
of
no one's ever going to be 1,000%
Conroy.
happy with it. Yeah.
Well, you will be 1,000% happy when it's Kevin Conroy.
Right.
But that's it.
Yeah.
But he's gone, so we're gonna have to deal with
facsimiles.
the second best Batman from forever, because no one will ever top Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
He is Batman. Even kids that watch the animated series now are just like, oh yeah, that's Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Batman. I'm glad he was there for the Arkham games.
Yeah. What about side missions in this? Are there a lot?
Tons.
Oh, really?
Endless. It just goes on and on. I mean,
is there a good variety?
Pretty much. I mean, you're always getting random like crime calls at any given time, which you can go over and basically it's usually beat up a bunch of people or take down a car that's been stolen or something.
Yeah.
And then so there's races, which is where this guy's going here. He's going to the checkered flag. There are things where you can put together wanted posters. We have to collect the wanted poster and then match them to the police database. There are challenges where each character has to do a combat challenge or a driving challenge or a targeting challenge. There are things where like you have to solve puzzles to unlock the fast travel system, which is subway tunnels that go back to the Batcave, which are called the Subwayne. Because Wayne.
All right.
Okay. There's hacking things with Batgirl and stuff, or Oracle, where you have to unlock these radio towers for stuff. That's later in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just goes on and on and on. Like, and one nice thing is when you discover something. Oh, and Riddler challenges, of course, the Riddler stuff everywhere, just like the Arkham games. The one nice thing is when you discover something, it's on the map, and if you can't do anything with it yet, there's a lock symbol on it.
Oh, that's
so
good.
You're not wasting your time to go
great.
to places and check those out. Because a lot of them do require you to have a particular sidekick's ability.
What do you do with all the nuts and bolts that you collect?
You buy stuff in the Batcave. So in the Batcave... you can buy new outfit. Also, the Batmite sets up a store for items, and so in the Batcave, you can build new sections of the Batcave. And early on, they kind of like teach you how to do that by making you build like the really basic stuff, like the costumes storage zone and the Batmobile garage and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then later, you can add new things, like training grounds and like. Places to put your trophies, because in the levels you collect them. Instead of the mini kits, you have to destroy a specific item that's unique to each stage. So, like in the museum with Catwoman, you're destroying cat heads. In one of the early things, you're destroying surfboards. Mm-hmm. And if you get all of them, you will get a little mini kit build that becomes one of his Batcave trophies. Like how he's got the giant penny and the dinosaur and everything. So that's how you get those. They're like mementos of his career as you go through it, which is kind of a nice touch.
Yeah.
And you'll run into places in the Batcave which are big flat flat boards of Lego studs basically, and you can go in like with an editing mode and place down whatever props you want.
I see.
And in the Batmite store, you can buy new costumes and you can buy new props for that, so you can decorate the Batcave however you want. You also use it to buy
so all cosmetics basically.
Buy new suits. You can use it to buy new Batmobiles. You can use it to buy the upgrades in the Batcave, etc., etc. So that's what the studs are used, or currency.
Gotcha.
And then you are using the skill brick. You get a skill brick for every level you complete, and you use those to upgrade the character's skills in the skill trees. And then you can get one red brick in each level, which are generally a modifier you can use. That are some of them are just for fun, and some of them are like they add like not multipliers like the old games, really, not yet anyway, but it's like they just like change aesthetic things basically.
Oh, so they're not like buffs, they're
not so far.
Gotcha.
I mean, maybe later on, but like you like I got one that just adds gothic stuff. Mm-hmm. It's not really that deep. But the gold skill brick so far you just get from completing the levels, and you can use them to here's the thing. So
there's a skill tree. Very simple. Yeah. But for a game like this, that's all you need.
So in addition to that, each character does have a separate set of like upgrades, two upgrade lines for like usually it's the grappling and the combat.
Okay. And they're kind of universal across all the characters?
No, each character has their own.
So you have to level it up for each character? Those two
attributes? That is Wayne Tech, I think. Those are like gadget upgrades.
Gotcha.
Because like Batman has the grappling hook and the batarangs. You upgrade those. And you get those by opening these chests that have W's on them, and they have Wayne Tech chips in them. And then like Gordon, you're upgrading his two signature weapons, which he's got a goo gun that can like stop machinery from working and like stop like plug up leaks and pipes
gears and stuff.
And then he's got a ricochet pistol that like bounces a bullet behind. Basically, if you want to destroy huge groups of Lego objects, you just shoot that and it ricochets back and forth and kills everyone.
Very satisfying, I'm sure, to you.
So those are the two things you'd upgrade for Gordon. And then like Catwoman is her whip, and Catwoman can summon cats and have them like attack. They can attack, or if you summon them like a different way, you can take control of them, and they go through little like the little areas you can't get through as a main character, and like press buttons to open stuff up and things, which is a nice trick. And the thing I actually really like about that is every time you summon them, she's so thrilled to see like she goes yay, like, she claps and she's like hi and waves to them and something. Like, yeah, she's definitely a cat person.
That's cool. Seems like there's a lot of gameplay variety in this in general.
There's a lot. I mean, you're still doing Lego things. I mean, but like. It's very hard to be bored.
Yeah.
Like it's unless you're just completely sick of the Lego thing.
Right.
And I understand if you are, but and I kind of am,
Yeah.
but not for this.
I'll be honest with you, Matt. Like, I didn't shove this into my schedule. I mean, I could have played this a little bit, but I just didn't. I'm not a huge Batman fan. I like Batman, but I am definitely burnt out on Lego games. And Skywalker Saga was the last one that I dedicated a lot of time to, and I kind of regretted it.
No, I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
But this
looks better.
This is the best Lego game in a very, very long time. And I know that's kind of damning with faint praise to some degree. But, like, this works on a level that Skywalker Saga simply did not. And, I mean, I think it's no secret that I am a much bigger Star Wars fan than a Batman fan. I am a Batman fan. I love Batman. But, like, if you're going to ask me who my favorite superhero is, it probably is Batman.
Oh, wow.
But, and I'm not even...
I did not know that about you
and
after
I'm a
all this
Marvel
time.
guy. And I'm a Marvel guy, you know? But, like, Batman is Batman. You know? Conceptually, I guess. And probably because, you know...
I like that he's a human, you know.
I like that he's a human.
Yeah.
I like that, you know, I like that he has his, like, code and stuff like that. All, you know, he's kind of the superhero in that regard.
Yeah.
But also, you know, I grew up in the era where you had the best adaptations of, you know, the Tim Burton Batman changed how superheroes were perceived. The Dark Knight Returns from Frank Miller and, like, changed how you perceived
looked at
all
superhero
of that
movies,
stuff. And then the comic, I mean, changed how you perceived Batman in general. Which was meant to be a parody of that idea, but instead it was taken very seriously and influenced things in ways Frank Miller did not intend, but here we are.
Yeah.
And then the Batman the Animated Series is the definitive depiction of a superhero in any medium ever, to me. Like, obviously, if you want to say what was my favorite comic, it's X-Men. But my favorite character, I don't think any individual X-Man beats Batman.
Yeah.
When Batman is functioning at his peak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you're in the middle of a really great Batman story, there's nothing else like that. And I always think of, because, like, I remember the first time I saw Batman the Animated Series was because when it first started to air, they ran some episodes in prime time because Fox,
I vaguely remember that.
Because Fox was so confident in it, and they should be. That my dad, who used to watch TV at dinner all the time, usually sitcoms he'd recorded on tape or whatever.
VHS.
No, Beta.
Oh, Beta. He
had
had a Beta.
He had Betamax because it was better quality.
Right, it was. Yep.
So we use, you know, Bewitched, Cheers, I Dream of Jeannie, I Love Lucy. You know, I am very well versed in the sitcom world. But one night he's like, "We're watching something else tonight," and he turned on because it was Batman. It was on Leather Wings, the first aired episode, the Man-Bat episode.
Yeah. And
he's like, "I want to watch this because it looks like those old Fleischer Superman cartoons, and I love the Art Deco thing."
Yeah.
And I remember watching it and be like, "Oh, like you know, I'd grown up with cartoons I loved and stuff, and I'd grown up with you know, like the Batman and the Hanna-Barbera stuff, and you know, crossing over with Scooby-Doo and things like that." But, like, I'd never seen anything that looked like that.
Yeah, I think I saw every episode of that show.
That show was fantastic. Well, the funny thing is the episode that I kept seeing over and over again, that just happened to be on every time I turned that show on, if I, you know, in high school, I remember, was I've Got Batman in My Basement, which is maybe the worst episode in the whole series.
I don't remember that one.
That's where he gets hurt and these kids, like, find him and take him to their basement and try to, like, nurse him back to health. And the Penguin's trying to get him. Yeah. And it's just it might be the worst episode in the whole series. And I think I've seen that episode like 12 times because it was on when I was preparing to go to my, like, winter formal. Like, I was getting dressed. I'm like, why is this the episode that's on right now? But, man, I very specifically remember my dad, who was like, you know, he did like superheroes. He grew up reading Captain Marvel, Shazam, Captain Marvel in the 40s and stuff. And, like, sometimes he'd go back to he also liked the Spider-Man animated series on Fox, which was interesting. It was interesting to see the stuff that he resonated with. And I remember watching, because, you know, so we'd watch the Batman in primetime stuff over it. And I remember the Mr. Freeze episode, Heart of Ice, played. And that, maybe some people don't remember, the origin of Mr. Freeze, where his wife is sick and he freezes her and is looking for a cure for it, that comes from that show.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That
really?
Before
it created canon.
Yeah, before that show, Mr. Freeze was just a weird super criminal who needed diamonds to power his technology. But that show came up with the whole Nora Freeze, like, origin where he's trying to find a cure for her, and that was so
learn something on GameFace every week,
and it was so compelling that now it's his origin story everywhere.
Yeah,
because he became a sympathetic, like, you know, and even Batman didn't really want to hurt it. Like, he's like I understand, like, because it makes him the greatest Batman villains and Spider-Man villains. The greatest Batman villains are foils to Batman. They reflect an aspect of Batman's character taken to either an extreme or an evil. Yeah. And, you know, Two-Face is his dual identity taken to, and his obsession with justice taken to extreme. The Joker is his extreme seriousness and mission statement taken to the opposite extreme. You know, all that stuff. Yeah. And Mr. Freeze, when you make him that, it becomes his obsession with his family losing his family members.
Yeah, you can relate to it.
That's what that. Mr. Freeze becomes important to the character of Batman by doing that, and he becomes a sympathetic character. And I remember my dad just thinking saying something like I can't believe they found a way to make Mr. Freeze sympathetic. Like they found a way to make me care about this guy.
Yeah.
And I'm and he's like, that's what a great final shot that was.
Wow.
And you didn't hear my dad talk about the cinematography of thing. He was a movie nut,
right?
But he was a populist movie.
You're probably like, oh my god, what's happening?
Because he wasn't he respected the master Kurosawa. He understood all that.
Yeah.
But his whole thing was it doesn't matter. If you loved Stanley Kubrick, great. If you get your favorite movie is Jean-Claude Van Damme for $5 at the local Cineplex, great. Whatever it takes, whatever you love, whatever movies you love, that's the movies you love, and that's what you should love.
Yeah.
He was very even-handed about that, and in very little else. But when it came, because he wanted to see every movie or whatever growing up, and his dad didn't agree with any of it. But his dad was whatever you want to see. My grandfather did not believe in censorship or restricting what you were allowed to consume in terms of art in any way whatsoever. And so he's I'll drive you to see whatever godless heathen movies you want to see, like Peyton Place, but I'm not going to stay and watch them.
Right.
I'm just going to take you there, and then you go, and he carried that on. But I was always a little shocked when he was into something that I was into I didn't discover from him.
I think a lot of people are like that with their dads.
Probably.
Yeah.
but he loved that show, and it was just, I remember that show being a revelation. So to me, Batman is the animated series.
Yeah.
And everything else sort of branches off of that, and the comics to some degree. I read the comics in a good time too.
Mm-hmm.
But then it hit that Nightfall stuff, and man, I was into it when I was a teenager, but I went back and reread all the Nightfall and all the stuff with Azrael as Batman and stuff, and it's just ooh,
I like that.
I like that. It's very hard to read some of that now, where you're just oh my, and I also how much of it is Chuck Dixon, who was the writer on one of the Batman titles, inserting his own weird self-reliance bootstrap mentality to Batman. A guy who inherited billions of dollars.
It doesn't quite work.
As a self-made man.
All right,
Anyway.
let's check in with chat and see what people are saying. If you have any questions for Matt about this game, now is a good time to ask them. And as always, go at Sifted Games. And that way we can pluck it out of chat from all the other conversation going on. Ethan says, Harley Quinn came from the animated series too.
Yep.
I did not know that either.
She was created by Bruce Timm for the animated series.
Wow, I did not know that.
The animated
I knew
series,
she was a big role, had a big role or whatever.
She didn't appear in the comics, I think, until '99.
Wow, I did not know that.
It actually might have been later than that for canon.
Wow. Nick Satois says several villains are influenced by the animated series canon.
Changed how a lot of changed how Two-Face was depicted. It changed how Ventriloquist was depicted. It's a lot. There was a lot of stuff that changed.
Silk Snake says he was just watching the animated series last night and it still holds up.
Absolutely still holds up.
Nick Satois, best Batman. I think a lot of people agree with that.
Very hard to argue otherwise.
I remember when people are waiting for their buses after school, the TV was on and it was always on every day.
J.U. Forsberger's right. I'm not a superhero fan, but Batman wins easily, or rather Gotham. That is it. If you nail the world of Batman, that's what does it. Mm-hmm. The Burton Batman, the first I don't like Returns very much because I think Returns is basically a Tim Burton movie that happens to have a guy dressed as a bat in it. Mm-hmm. In the same way that I think Dark Knight, while I love the first two Nolan movies I like a lot, but Dark Knight in particular is a really good heist movie that happens to have a man dressed as a bat in it. It's not really Batman.
I'm a Spider-Man guy. He's probably my favorite.
Spider-Man's great too. I also think this one thing this game does really interestingly and well. People have varying opinions on it. It mashes up the Burton Joker, the animated series Joker, and the Nolan Joker into one character in a very slick way. I think they managed to make one character embody those three different versions of the Joker all at once in a pretty smooth manner. Okay. I would not necessarily have thought that possible before now, but I think they did a pretty cool thing there. And in fact, I think if you're going to do a big sort of encompassing Batman adaptation in the future, you should really look at what TT Games has done here as a little bit of inspiration and maybe even a little bit of a template, because they have kind of, in the same way the animated series did, they've kind of cooked up sort of quote-unquote definitive editions of these characters taking into account all the mythology behind them and cherry picking what works and what doesn't and kind of putting them into this story. And I think that's an achievement that maybe needs to be looked at more closely going forward once the dust has settled on this game. Because I think they've actually pulled off something pretty impressive here.
It seems like it. Silkshank says, my nephews got very bored and stopped. I think because it was front-loaded with cutscenes and Bruce Wayne that they had no interest in. They just wanted to be Batman right away.
That is true. You are not in a bat suit for probably an hour.
It does take a while.
It does take a while.
Yeah. AJ, The Legend Watson, Matt, do you see yourself 100%ing the game?
If I didn't have a bunch of other things to do, yes. If I was able to sort of focus on this for the rest of the summer, probably. It depends what else we're going to have. I mean, again, it kind of depends how many games come out.
Right.
You know, like,
yeah.
But yes, if I was a normal person who didn't do a show about video games every week, I probably would focus on this until and for exclusively.
Looking
for
at the next couple months of game releases,
that might actually be possible. That's true.
Out of Baldy's way. Thank you for Twitch Prime, brother. Appreciate it. See if there's any others in here. Ruthina77, do you see them learning the lessons from other Lego games?
Maybe. I have a hard time thinking that some of this wasn't... I have a hard time thinking the comprehensiveness of this wasn't somehow inspired by the reactions to Skywalker Saga. And obviously this is probably a different thing because when you're dealing with Star Wars, you were beholden to everything Lucasfilm wants you to do. I don't know whose mandate on Skywalker Saga it was to not quote-unquote repeat yourself, because it's remarkable to me when because I did replay most of Skywalker Saga last year. It was like $5 on Steam, and I'm like, I'll try it again. And I was right the first time. It's play. I even because I'd forgotten a lot of it and playing through it, I was like, I cannot believe there is no Battle of Endor in this fucking game. Like, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
And it's like, yes, you've already done 2 Lego versions of Battle of Endor in the previous Star Wars Lego games
for a reason.
But like, yeah, because it's a huge part of the. Like, what are you doing?
Seriously,
like, what are you doing?
That's really dumb.
And I don't know if it was TT Games or Warner Brothers or Lucasfilm going like, no, we've already done that. We can't do it again. No, that should have been the game where like you don't need to play another Lego Star Wars game ever again because this game has everything in it.
It was the Skywalker Saga.
Doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't. It missed an important part
Whereas
of the
this
Skywalker
one, you're
Saga.
like, I'm sitting there trying to think of anything Batman related that I haven't gotten so far chronologically. I'm like, not really.
Yeah.
Like I doubt they're going to do the Nightfall story, but who fucking cares?
Yeah, they were smart with what they chose to include.
And again, that might be because you are up against less of a brick wall with the licensor because you're working with Warner Brothers, who owns them. You know, DC Comics can't really tell you what to do and what not to do because that's not how that deal works. Lucasfilm does have veto power over everything. So I don't know whose fault the Skywalker Saga thing is. Having worked with Lucasfilm in the past, I kind of know where I think it probably was. You know,
yeah, you're probably right.
But this one gets it all right in a way that the Skywalker Saga got it all wrong. Yeah, that's it.
How much is this game?
I think it's $70.
Is it? Do you think it's worth $70?
I paid $120.
Oh, you bought the
I bought the early
version?
access with all the deluxe stuff.
So $70, no sweat.
No sweat.
Okay.
If you love Batman, like while you're listening to me right now, go add it to cart in your preferred like platform of choice. Like, or wait 2 years until it's $20.
Right.
I mean,
if you're a Batman fan, I don't think you're gonna wait 2 years to play this.
Probably not. This is the best Lego game in a long time.
And a good Batman game.
Yeah, and it's very funny from a Lego perspective. It's funny. There's a lot of Batman jokes. There's a lot of. I mean, again, the American Psycho thing is a reference to the business card gag, and it happens when Bruce Wayne puts his business card down, which is like, okay, it's funny because it's a business card, and it's funny because it's American Psycho in a kid's game, but it's also funny because Christian Bale played Bruce Wayne, and like there's a lot happening there, and you're like an 8-year-old's not going to understand that, but like Dad's gonna be like, oh damn,
that's awesome.
So like I like there's a lot of stuff like that, and it's really it's like that Pixar thing where it's like there's stuff for the parents, there's stuff for the kids, everybody's gonna be entertained.
That's a sign of great entertainment.
Absolutely,
man. It really is. That's
and
hallmark.
It's honestly something that's been missing from these Lego games for a while.
I'd agree with that. Yeah,
so I think this is well done. This is not just like one of the best Batman games. I think it's a return to form for TT Games.
That's great. All right, it's time to move on. You might want to get yourself a drink and kick those feet up because this next topic is a doozy. We are going to preview Not E3 / Summer Game Fest 2026. And the way we're going to structure the discussion is we're going to go in the order the events happen. So that should help you kind of place it in your mind when you just start paying attention to all these various events. And just one thing I want to say before we get going here is there's no place better on the internet to go than SIFTD for E3 or any big gaming event. It's just the truth. We'll have everything there as soon as it goes down. You know that if you've been going to SIFTD all this time. But just want to throw that out there. So all these events, they will be curated live. As soon as those videos show in these shows, they will be curated separately to our site, so you don't have to watch the big show if you don't want to. Or if you don't want to watch the big show at all, you can just come back later and just go to our trailers channel, and boom, all the stuff is right there. So I just want to get that plug out there for SIFTD before we get into this. But we are going to go in chronological order as far as how all the events are going to shake out. So obviously, you know already what the first one is because I already talked about how we're going to do live commentary over it, and that is the PlayStation State of Play that is happening next Tuesday, June 2nd at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Again, we'll be here live, same channel, twitch.tv/SIFTDgames, youtube.com/SIFTDgames to do all that live. But we want to preview some of that stuff and maybe try to guess what might be shown. And again, as I said earlier in the show, we're not going to focus on known quantities in this discussion. We want to focus on games that maybe we know about, but we don't have any information about yet. So, first game we're going to talk about for PlayStation, we have to, is Wolverine. Marvel's Wolverine from Insomniac. My guess is this is going to be either the first thing shown or the last thing shown. My guess is we're going to see a developer walkthrough of this for the first time. Mm-hmm. Matt, do you think this game's open world?
That is a good question.
Isn't it? There are shots in this trailer that might lead you to believe that this game might be open world. Not even this stuff, like the racing stuff. There's like these areas.
These things. I don't know. Like, I think it could be either. It could be either that or like open areas.
Right. Like God of War style.
God of War style, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of like background stuff there does look. I mean, again, but you are going from place to place throughout the game, so it's not like
they need the area no matter what.
Yeah, it's not true like open. It's not like Spider-Man where the whole game takes place in one open area where you never leave it, and like you can go anywhere at any time.
But
clearly,
it could be.
You are in, but it's not.
No,
it's like
you're 100% it's not.
You're in Madripoor, or you're in New York, or you're in wherever. Yeah, I mean, maybe you can go back to those places.
Yeah,
but I don't think you're going to be able to run from snowy Canada to like Southeast
No.
Like
I mean, Spider-Man works with that design because it's all set in one place. You're right. This
you
is
just
probably
expand boroughs.
You're right. This is going to jump all over the place. So the chances of having a real open world are
it's going to be a bunch of large areas in specific parts of the world. Chances are you'll be able to go back to previous. I think Ratchet, frankly.
Yeah.
Like different planets, sort of thing.
That makes sense.
Be a lot of them. Well, even Ratchet does like a lot of big areas where you can go find a bunch of stuff and do multiple missions and things like that. That's what I would imagine it would be, because he's a globetrotter and Spider-Man's not.
Yep, I think that makes sense.
I would guess that like the Madripoor area is going to be big enough that you'll feel like you're playing a sandbox open world game. But again, I also don't know how much that really gets you with Wolverine, because one of the reasons you want Spider-Man to be open world is because his traversal mechanic is like one of the biggest appeals of the character.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Wolverine just runs or rides a motorcycle.
And slices.
It's not really...
Or
climbs with a claw. But it's not as compelling as web swinging.
I agree, yeah. I watched the trailer again, like really closely a couple days ago, and was like, Now, I never really noticed.
I think the areas will be bigger than God of War.
Yeah,
and partly because Kratos is a larger character.
Yeah. You also have a motorcycle. You got to ride the motorcycle here.
But I would think. I'm trying to think of a game to compare it to, but like have like a large area. I think
Ratchet and Clank probably is a good analog.
Or like
Rift Apart,
The Last of Us Part 2.
Where sometimes you can be fooled into thinking it's an open world game.
It's as big as like an open world game might have been in the 360 era.
Right.
Thing,
Yep. Okay.
But it's just a section of the game.
And we already have the release date for that, so you don't have to sweat that. All the information's out there. The only thing we haven't seen yet is somebody playing the freaking game.
Yeah, really what they need to go into is like the combat mechanisms and how they're translating his mutant powers and stuff to like what's the healing factor going to be? Is it going to be automatic? Is it like what's that? How's that all balanced?
I expect to see at least a 10-minute chunk of this game being played. That would be my guess.
I would think so. Because what is that?
October? Yeah. It's coming up fast. They're just polishing now. I'm sure it's all feature complete.
I imagine it'll be the star here, and then you'll probably get its own direct in September. And
then that'll be that. Off we go to play it. Next up, God of War Trilogy Remake. All we have is this little dinky, like 20-second teaser video of it so far. They haven't really shown anything. So my guess is, without a doubt, we get the first real trailer of it. Do you think we'll get the release date for it?
No.
No?
I think this thing's further out than anybody wants to believe.
Yeah.
Like, I think this might be, like, fall next year.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense, because obviously they have their big Q4 game this year with Wolverine.
Yeah, they don't really need it until then.
Now, PlayStation does usually have one big first-party game in the first quarter, usually, and maybe it could slot in there, but you're right. The fact that we haven't seen it yet, that would mean it's like less than a year away.
Also, like, maybe you want to still kind of clear Q1 out, because whether it gets delayed or not, GTA 6 is still going to be sort of ruling the roost there.
I mean, it's going to be rolling the roost for a while.
Yeah, but you want to get away from sort of the launch window.
Oh, yeah. The 6 month, I want to stay away 6
Yeah.
months away from that for sure if you have a big game.
Unless you're, like, very appealing to very different audiences.
Right. Yeah.
And I do not believe God of War Trilogy is appealing to a particularly different audience.
I don't think so either. But anyway, this is all we've got so far is this little developer doc thing that they put out for it. There's no footage of it yet, but it is announced, and so I think it coming out within the next year is a long shot. So my guess is we see the first real trailer of this, and maybe...
Especially because I'm guessing they recorded this when he recorded new lines for it. And,
Yeah.
like, that means they're real early.
Yep. That'd be my guess, too.
They're just getting to the point where they don't need placeholder anymore.
Yeah. So probably not too much from this game, but probably a new trailer. Next up, the new God of War. I guess not the sequel to Ragnarok, but the prequel to the God of War reboot trilogy. This is supposed to be coming from Sony Santa Monica. This is God of War Ragnarok, by the way. This is not it. We have not seen any footage of the next God of War at all.
Because if it was the new one, you would not be Kratos.
That's right. And rumors are, and I think the rumors were pretty much corroborated, that it is a prequel spin-off where you play as Faye. So, yeah. We're waiting. Like, there have been several hints on Facebook from Corey Barlog about this that seem to hint exactly at what people have said the game is. Like, he's basically hinted, yeah, it's God of War, but not God of War, to people he's just friends with on Facebook. And luckily, I'm one of those people. So I get to kind of keep an eye or one foot in the door on this game's development here and there.
I do think there's a chance this is the star game, and we don't really see a lot of Wolverine.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. They're going to need two big things. They're going to need something to start, something to finish. So my guess is you start with one and you finish with the other.
Maybe. I mean, it kind of depends. Like, which one do you want to do some kind of, like, summer games thing with? And odds are Wolverine is probably that, because it would be you have more to show for that. And this is more of a, hey, get excited about this next year or whatever.
Yeah. Because I think they'll only show a trailer for this, like, the first time. They'll talk about it on stage maybe for a couple minutes. Although with this state of play,
it'd probably be, like, wrapped in with, like, some kind of, like, update on what Sony Santa Monica's up to.
Yeah,
kind of thing,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like a little interview segment or something like that. Inside the studio at Sony Santa Monica, something like
and
that.
Now we'd like to give you a quick
glimpse
of what we're doing with this. You know, that kind of
I have a feeling people might be disappointed in what they see of this.
I mean, it's going to be pretty minor.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty minimal. Maybe just confirming what the rumors are out there and maybe showing like its logo or something. It could be minimal. So.
But it could still be the finale, even if it's
It could,
that.
yeah.
Like,
that'd be enough to bring down the house.
I'm very prepared for Sony to underwhelm on this thing.
Well, that's all it's been doing for the last 3 years. Next up from PlayStation, Intergalactic, the next game from Naughty Dog. I think we're going to see the first gameplay of this.
Planetary?
Yeah.
Intergalactic?
Yes, I think we will. I think we will see finally the planet's surface, although you get a little glimpse of it here in this trailer at the end. But I think we will see a full-on gameplay. I also predict that this game is going to blow people's minds when they see it at this state of play. I don't think people have any clue what this game really is, and I think they're about to see it, and I think they're going to be blown away by it. So,
well, I was told by the internet that no one will ever buy this game because the girl is ugly.
Because the girl is a minority with a shaved head.
Yes.
That's all it takes. Well, I'm here to tell you, I think people are going to come away from not E3 2026, and they're going to be very excited about this game.
You bet against Naughty Dog at your own damn peril.
Seriously.
I'll buy 2 copies of this just to piss you off.
Yeah, I've heard some things banging around being alive in Los Angeles here over the last couple years about this game, and yeah, I think people, when they find out what it is, are going to be very, very excited for it, and that's all I'm going to say. So I do think this will be shown. At the very least, we will get a gameplay trailer. They may not actually show raw gameplay being driven by somebody live, But at the very least, we're going to get a much better idea of what this game is about.
I don't know. If anything is a no-show here, it's going to be this.
Well, let's get through the rest of these, because there might be some other ones that... But you're right. Like, it's up there, for sure, as a game that could just not show up at all. But
Naughty Dog of all places can just be like, nah.
yeah, I mean, they're the rock star of PlayStation. They can do what they want. They
Yeah.
can tell PlayStation, we don't want to show it yet, and PlayStation will be like, okay. Like, that's pretty much what Take-Two's doing right now with Rockstar Games.
Yep.
Whatever Rockstar says, they're like, okay, whatever you say, you own us. So anyway, I think we're going to see a lot from this game. I could be wrong. It is Naughty Dog, and... honestly, I could talk to somebody from Naughty Dog today, and they could tell me, oh, yeah, it's going to be there. And then a week from now, it may not be there.
You never know.
It really is that volatile. So we'll see, but I'm pretty confident that we're finally going to see what this game is really all about. And it's not about hanging out within its ship, talking to a woman with an eye patch.
It is so weird that Kumail Nanjiani... She's just hunting Kumail Nanjiani.
Uh-huh.
That's it. It's like,
He's everywhere right now.
Well, it's always weird because I was around him a fair amount before he blew up because he knew Jonah Ray and Jonah worked on our show and Kumail's wife was on our podcast. So every once in a while it's like, oh, there's a guy I know. Like this
that dude. And now he's huge. I mean, he's in
yeah.
everything now. It's
Everything.
really crazy. So anyway, I think we'll finally get a good look at Intergalactic. I hope I am not wrong on that one.
It was so I don't know what the word, nasty, annoying. Like they made him work out so hard for the Eternals and he never got to take his shirt off in that. It's so disappointing.
In the new season of Fallout, he's a prominent.
Yeah.
And he's in good shape in that.
No, he stayed in good shape.
Yeah.
Like that really changed his life, I think. But
Yeah.
like it was just like you getting all this, and he just wears a bodysuit the whole. I mean, it was probably good for his health. But it's like why is everybody got to look like Chris Evans if you're not going to have them all take their clothes off? What are you doing?
Yeah. And this is the point where
So many chicken breasts for nothing.
This is the point where this section of GameFace 481 starts to fall off a little bit because we have to talk about the rest of PlayStation's games now. One thing I do want to mention is that there is a possibility that we get a glimpse or at least an announcement of the next Uncharted game. So keep that in the back of your mind, that is a possibility, and we'll see if that happens or not. Next up, Kena. Scars of Kazmora. The first Kena game was a little indie gem that released for the PS4. We both liked it a lot. It seems like they're expanding on the first game significantly, and my guess is with this game, we'll definitely see the first gameplay. Although this trailer shows some gameplay in it here and there. So it's not like we haven't seen any in-engine action, but we also, most of us played Kena, and we pretty much know what we're getting into here. There are obvious changes. The big one is her relationship with the creatures in the world and all that kind of stuff. So there's some new twists on the formula, but I like the first Kena just fine. They could make a sequel that's almost identical to it, and I'd be cool with it. But I think we'll get a nice big blow out of this, because also I don't think this game is too far away. So
No, I heard stuff that this was this year.
Yep. It could come out Q4 of this year. So we'll see. I think we'll probably get the final release date for that as well. Next up, Fair Games. And there was a new copyright filed by PlayStation this week for a game called Break-In. And I don't know. I use my simple mind to come to the conclusion that they have renamed Fair Games as Break-In. Because Fair Games was a heist game where you are breaking into businesses, buildings, banks, and things like that, collecting your stuff and getting out competitively with other teams. At least that's what Fair Games was when Jade Raymond was working on it. Who knows now? But my guess is its title has been... Because first they took the $ out of Fair Games and just made it an S. And now it seems like they've completely changed the title of the game. So this we'll finally see. We've been watching this same damn trailer for 3 or 4 years now. We're way overdue to see this game. So my guess is they will finally unveil what the hell it is. I'm guessing it's still a heist shooter. And they'll unveil, we've changed the title, we've done some tweaks to it, Jade's not here anymore, but she left us in a great place, blah, blah, blah.
Keep it.
Yep. So we'll finally figure out what this is. It's another game as a service, but at least this one is different from their other games as a service. Like, it's kind of like Payday, like team-based Payday. At least it has a twist and a spin on it that it's other live service games
Just get
don't
it
have.
out and we can move on.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I still
like
think
the
this...
amount of like game constipation Sony has right now is just like, just get it, just shit it out and let's move along. Huh?
I mean,
Get
yeah.
on with it.
I think that that game may be canceled still. I'm still not 100% sure that it's going to come out. We'll see. They've been working on it a long time. They spent a lot of money on it, but that hasn't stopped PlayStation in the past.
Well, and also, I mean, cosmically, you cannot let Jade Raymond ship a game that does, even if she's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you got to figure out if that caveat still holds, because otherwise the universe will implode.
That's right. It was going to a black hole. Yep. So anyway, that's all we got on Fair Games right now, but I think we'll be getting more. Next up, the 2 Horizon multiplayer games. So one is called Horizon Hunters Gathering, the dumbest name for a game ever. And this one is being worked on by Guerrilla.
Like, do you think a hunter-gatherer joke is the way to title this game? Is that
Hunters
really
Gathering is the title of this game. This one is actually being worked on by Guerrilla. So this is like in-house team that made the single-player games.
No, thank you.
This is what, a 3-player cooperative,
Something
like hack and slashy thing, like isometric.
Yeah, it's Horizon, but co-op. Co-op with a team.
Are you excited about this at all?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have any interest. The only thing I care about in Horizon is Aloy.
Yeah.
Aloy's story, and
she's just a bit like person in the cinematics in this. Like they just put her as, she's basically a cameo here. Like they had to put her in here, otherwise nobody would care about this at all.
I mean, obviously it's her and her team here, but like they're basically going to be your mentor people.
She's the boss.
That teach you, they're the ones who are going to run the tutorial, and then you're going to have to go out with your created character and
hack and slash away.
Waste your time killing 4,000 of these things for like a better skin or a new bow or something. Who gives a shit? Yeah.
This game I think is going to come this year. At least that's how it sounded when they talked about it. They did a huge like developer doc on this when they put it out. So it's pretty far along. They've already had a couple different betas for this that people have played. My guess is it comes out this year, if not first quarter of next year.
Robonyan says Horizon Federation Force, and that is pretty much what it feels like. It's like, really? You're wasting my time with this shit? Like,
well, here's the other thing. That's not the only one. There's another Horizon multiplayer game that's coming called Horizon Steel Frontiers. And this one is more of your traditional like PC MMO styled game. It doesn't have a stylized art style like Horizon Hunters Gathering does. It looks more like what you would expect a Horizon game to look like, but it's an MMO. So it's all this combat on cooldowns and all the other stuff.
Yeah, once again, who wanted this?
Instead of a single-player Horizon game, we're getting these two.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't taking the place of that because it's a totally different.
But my point is like,
what a weird thing to do with this property.
If you've signed off on this, for this, I think it's a Nexon or something that's making this. If you've signed on for this, why do you then greenlight another multiplayer game from Guerrilla when they could make Horizon 3?
My continued guess is that whatever they want to do with Horizon 3, the tech isn't
in
place for it yet.
They're waiting for PS6.
They had to stall for PS6.
Interesting.
I think that's what's happening.
It's possible. Of these two games, which one seems more interesting to you?
Shoot me.
I knew you were going to say something like that. Seriously, if I had to tell you to pick one to play, which one would you pick? The Guerrilla game, I'm guessing. Just because it's made by Guerrilla. That'd be my guess. No, not necessarily.
Probably this one.
Really?
Because it would have more of the world in it.
Yeah. It's more, I think this is probably more similar to the base Horizon game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're right on that one. But I just, because Guerrilla's making the other one, I just trust Guerrilla a little bit more to make a good game.
I don't know if I do that because, I mean, I trust them. I like the Horizon games, but they made more Killzone games, and I don't trust that shit.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, this looks like more like Horizon to me, whereas the other one's going to be like match-based co-op slop, basically. Like, I don't care how good it is. I don't want to play that. I don't care. Like, at least this has some kind of continuity of place and character to it, whereas the others is going to be like doing the same thing over and over again because that's what co-op,
that's the design
hunter things are.
Fight a boss, fight through a level, fight the boss, fight through a level, fight the boss.
And so no, I'd rather do this.
Okay, that actually makes perfect sense to me.
Absolutely are going to force me to do one or the other.
And Vincent in chat says Horizon Zero Dawn is one of the biggest new IPs of the previous generation.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. There's no doubt about it.
It's huge.
I mean, it's crazy that there's 2 multiplayer spin-offs coming from Horizon.
I mean, basically that's what happened is like, Horizon was Sony's biggest new IP in like 2 generations. So I think since God of War, since Last of Us.
Yeah, it went all in. There's no doubt about it.
And so they basically went all in with what they thought was the style at the time, which is multiplayer nonsense. So here we are. Now, this is super popular as a single-player game. Maybe we can get money out of people every month.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Yep, that's true. So anyway, 2 Horizon multiplayer games. My guess is they show a ton of both of those.
Probably. I mean, maybe.
I wonder how they're going to stagger the releases of the 2 so they don't step on each other.
I mean, arguably they are not in competition with each other because they're two very different
They
things.
are. Yeah.
But I can't really trust the market to know that.
Yeah, to casual Joe, it may be tough to see.
Well,
the
I
difference.
also don't think I think most casual Joes are never going to hear about that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, because it's a
It's a Nexon game.
Nexon PC game. You know.
Yep.
My guess is that Sony barely features the Nexon one at all, the MMO at all.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is that both of those games are going to be PC games as well because they're multiplayer games. So they will be the only PlayStation games that are also coming to PC.
Is Kenna on PC?
Is what?
Is Kenna on PC?
I think so.
The sequel.
I think the first Kenna ended up releasing on Switch and everything else.
Yeah, it's on everything.
Yeah.
So it's not Sony's property entirely.
No, or it is, and because it came out on the other platforms like 2 years afterwards or something.
Yeah,
there was a big delay.
It's something like No Man's Sky where they kind of helped with.
Yeah, I think so.
But
Yeah,
it's not theirs.
And then there was a big delay from PlayStation to the other platforms, so probably something baked into their contract. But yeah. Next up, Spider-Man 3. Think we're going to see Spider-Man 3? Are we going to see the next game from Insomniac at all? No.
Absolutely not. Way too early.
Is Spider-Man 3 the next one?
Yeah.
Is it?
It should be Wolverine, Spider-Man 3, X-Men.
Then X-Men. Okay.
So we should see Spider-Man 3 in 2028 and X-Men in 2030.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're Insomniac, you've been working on your other game for years and years. I don't think you want to muddy the waters at all. I think you want to make sure everybody focuses on Wolverine.
on Wolverine. We might see Spider-Man 3 at the Game Awards.
Yeah, first trailer maybe.
Like some teaser, even just like a logo.
Yep, because Wolverine will be out at that point. So
a Spider-Man 3 logo with a green lighting tint. That's all. That's what.
That's all you need.
You finally need Green Goblin to show up.
Yeah, set the internet ablaze.
Teasing that since the first game. So
yeah, yep. And then we're really starting to get thin here. We're starting to learn the first information on the next game from Media Molecule. Back in 2024, the studio head said that they were moving away from their game tool design, that their next game was going to be more of a traditional video game than Dreams and Little Big Planet. And then yesterday, or the day before, news leaked out that their next game is open world in some way. So do you think we'll see? I mean, they are way overdue to show their next game, by the way.
Yeah, true. Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. That might be one game in the middle there. I'm just glad that
you want to talk about
still alive.
You want to talk about it? Yeah, I was going to say, you don't talk about developers that it's a miracle they haven't been shut down, considering how Sony has. I mean, you're going to shut down Bluepoint. I don't think anybody's safe other than like the two big guys.
I really thought we were going to hear that they killed Media Molecule, but they have not. They are working on a new game, and hopefully we'll get to see it. If not, I think it will definitely be at the Game Awards in December, for sure. Because they're overdue to show it. And they talked about it 2 years ago, so yeah, they should be ready to show that off. So I'm guessing that will be there. And then just the final two games that we're not going to really talk about, Phantom Blade Zero and Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. So there you go. That's mostly the PlayStation lineup. What kind of, do you expect any surprises of any type?
Not really.
What about Sony Bend? Do you think they might be ready to show
last
something?
Time the surprise was a horrible one. So
yeah.
It was a bad God of War side scroller.
Right.
Sony Bend, I don't know what they're doing. I thought they were like mostly doing support stuff.
That's what I thought too, but I mean, that's a big studio to just be doing support stuff. They got to be working on something.
I mean, you got to have them do something now that Bungie's like off the list.
People are talking about Infamous. They're saying Infamous may come back or a remake or something.
A Bungie or a Bend made Infamous? I don't think I need that.
Yeah, me either. Yeah. Keep it with the people who created it, is what I would say. I mean,
considering how much Infamous hinges around usually like a relationship between two friends, and Sony Bend's last relationship between two friends, Z was bad enough. I don't need a Boozer equivalent in my Infamous game. Thank you.
Yep. And what about Sucker Punch? You think maybe they'll show something?
I think it's too. I mean, I think you might get like another DLC thing from Yote, maybe, but that's too early.
No, they already said no DLC. They're already done.
They're just doing that one.
They're doing the one thing.
I mean, that's pretty much what they. Oh, they didn't. They did the other island one for the first game.
Did they?
It was the island.
Oh yeah, that's
narrative
right.
Expansion.
Yeah, but all they're doing is the multiplayer thing this time, and that's it.
I mean, there's not much else. Nowhere else really can really go with that.
Because then it would be Ghost of whatever. It would be the sequel. So.
I think it's too soon.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, again, it could be Ghost of Tsushima too.
Yeah.
They could always follow up on
finally and do a sequel.
Because the end, Ghost of Tsushima implies that Jin is heading off to basically the mainland to figure out where the Mongols are coming from.
Right.
And that could be a game in and of itself.
That's true. Yep. So there you go. That's our preview of Sony State of Play. Again.
Or they could do something brand new, which I would also like to see. I mean, let Sucker Punch do whatever the hell Sucker Punch wants to do. They have never made a bad game.
Yeah. By the way, this is literally almost exactly a week from right now. It's like 30 minutes shy of a week from now. So don't forget, we'll be here next Tuesday to tackle Sony State of Play Live, and that's what we expect to be there. Next up, we're going to move on to the next event during Naughty 3 2026 Summer Game Fest, whatever you want to call it, and that is Jeff Keighley's big Summer Game Fest 2026 press event. That is happening Friday, June 5th at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. So you're starting to notice a trend here. Be ready at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern throughout the entire next 2 weeks, because that seems to be the time when everything is popping off. And that's when Jeff Keighley's big blowout happens, and it will be interesting to see this year. Again, I mentioned last week, even Jeff isn't really pumping things up that much this year. He's really kind of being low-key with the promotion for this show.
I think he's waiting for the Sony thing to be over.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing he knows exactly what's in the Sony thing and in the Xbox thing.
Yep.
He's got to take the scraps, would be my guess. But what we're going to focus on when we discuss his show is all the big third-party stuff. So any of these games that we're about to discuss in this section could end up in the PlayStation event, and chances are a lot of them will, because PlayStation has first pick on all this stuff now. So they could end up in PlayStation, they could end up in Xbox, they could end up in Nintendo, but we're just going to go through all the big third-party stuff here in this section where we talk about Jeff's Summer Game Fest press event. So again, we want to focus on games here, not games that you know about, because we could sit here and we could talk about Control Resonant or Onimusha Way of the Sword or Star Wars Galactic Racer and all that kind of stuff, but we want to talk about stuff that we don't know anything about or very little about. So the first one we're going to discuss here is Virtua Fighter 6. And Matt, I know for a fact that this game is going to be shown because the whole presentation leaked 2 days ago. Now, I was going to show the leaked gameplay. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Okay. So did I.
It's funny because I was just telling someone at a party about it the night before.
Oh, really?
And then that came. I'm like, so the next morning I texted him. I was like, "Speak of the devil." There you go.
Yep.
And he was. I mean, and he hadn't played a Virtua Fighter, I think, since the Dreamcast. And I told him kind of what they were trying to do with this. He's like, "What?" And I sent that, and all I got back was, "Holy fuck!" So they are impressing even the non-hardcore people with what they're showing here.
So I thought about running it in the show today. It has actually not been copyright struck by Sega yet, which is crazy. So I almost was going to run it, and then I was like, you know what? Sega is probably going to strike that thing in 2 days, and then that episode will be worthless. So I'm not going to show you the gameplay. You can go to SIFTD and watch it. It's alive there right now. Just go to the Virtua Fighter 6 game page and watch it. And it'll be there until they take it down, but I'm not going to run it in the show here. And the one thing I would just say is it looks way faster than prior games in the franchise.
I wouldn't say that.
Really? It seemed way more action. It could be the clips that they chose, but
it's not faster than 2 or 4.
It seemed less methodical.
It's about as fast.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch top level players playing that game, that's how fast it moves.
Yeah. But it looks great.
I watched a full tournament of 5 at Evo Japan tournament, and it's about the same.
Okay. But it looks great. So head on over to sifted.net and watch it over there. We're not going to show it to you here, but I guarantee you that this is going to be in either PlayStation's, most likely, or Xbox's press event, because this is not, as of right now, even coming to Switch 2.
I will say that there's a lot more circular motion than in the previous ones. Maybe not 3, because 3 had a button dedicated to side dodging.
Yep.
But the fact that you are able to push each other around and pull each other past each other, there's a lot more of that in this, which is a reflection of actual martial arts in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
The way the hands interact with each other during the throws and during the blocking and stuff. Crazy.
It looks good.
Completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
But the aesthetic of it is unbeatable.
Yeah. For the record, Matt and I are huge Virtua Fighter fans. I mean, it's my favorite fighting franchise to play. So
it's my favorite 3D fighting.
Yeah, me too.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it. But anyway, we wanted to get that out of the way first because we know it's going to be there because they leaked out the present. And I do feel bad for Sega, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
I mean, that's the way it goes always with Sega. Yeah. That's just Sega.
That's true. Next up, Pipe Dream, Grand Theft Auto 6. Going to see anything from anybody there?
Not a chance in hell.
Obviously, if it is going to happen, it would happen at the PlayStation thing. But you don't think Trailer 3? There's
no. Rockstar doesn't.
Even a 1% chance?
0. Rockstar don't need help.
You're right. Yeah. Why would Rockstar let Sony do that when it could do it itself?
Why would they help anyone else?
I had to bring it up because it is the biggest game that's pending release right now, and we really don't know that much about it.
They could drop the trailer at 1 a.m. on a Sunday, and everyone would wake up for it somehow.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter.
I would give it like a 5% chance of being in PlayStation's thing. So, yeah, it's not going to happen, but we have to bring it up. It is the biggest game in the industry right now, but yeah, chances of it showing up at anything at not E3 2026, very, very slim. Next up, Hogwarts Legacy 2. So it hasn't been that long since Hogwarts Legacy came out. It came out in 2023. So we're coming up on almost...
I cannot believe they didn't do DLC for this thing.
I know. I don't think they ever guessed it would be as huge as it was.
But why wouldn't you?
I don't... It's just post-haste.
Why do you weirdos, all these fucking companies and publishers go around like hoping that these stupid-ass multiplayer games are going to be giant hits, like Halo-style hits, and then like you'd finally make one based on one of the most popular IPs in the history of IPs, and it's a big hit, and everyone's like, "Oh, we weren't ready for that." I was like, "What the fuck were you?" Then why did you make it?
I know. If you didn't think it was going to be
why
big,
did you make the most detailed Harry Potter game in the fucking history of Harry Potter games, and then be like, "Oh, we weren't ready for it to people to want more of this"? Like, what did you fucking think?
Yeah. Well, the sequel is being worked on right now. We know that for sure, but we really have no idea when it's coming or when it might be ready to be shown. But it's to the point now where we can discuss that it might be ready to be shown.
Maybe. I mean, even if it is shown, I would imagine it's probably still like another year or two out.
Oh, yeah. It definitely not coming out this year. Maybe holidays next year, best case scenario.
Yeah. The nice thing is you don't have to synergize with much. I guess you could synergize with the TV show, but
when does that launch?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably next year. I think they're shooting it now, so probably next year.
Maybe next year. I mean, that may actually work out, that they released the game along with the TV show.
Obviously it's not related because the TV show is the books, and this is, 100 years earlier. So
yeah.
But again, it's just you want to throw it out there when Harry Potter awareness is up, I guess, because of the show.
I'd give this a 30 to 40% chance of being shown,
maybe,
roughly. Yeah.
I mean, you can get away with a lot with this one in terms of here's a shot of an owl swooping in the logo and the music, and there you go.
Yeah.
They
could announce it.
Yeah. You don't even need
without much fanfare.
Yeah. Here's Hogwarts inheritance or something. I don't know, whatever. It was another word other than legacy.
That's a pretty good one, Hogwarts inheritance. So anyway, chances
you play the richest kid in Slytherin in this one.
Chances are we won't see this, but again, had to bring it up. It is a big game that's on the way.
Hogwarts Origins, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Not long ago, I just searched the database of SIFTD for words like that, for like origin. And there's literally like 80 games in our database with the word origin in the title.
Hogwarts
somewhere.
Genesis.
Right, that was another one.
Hogwarts Resistance.
Judgment, that's another one.
Hogwarts Judgment is a little weird.
Yeah. So anyway, chances are we probably won't see...
Teacher got caught doing something they weren't supposed to do, I guess.
We probably won't see this one, but we need to bring it up because the last one has sold almost 40 million units. Mm-hmm. It's insane.
Well, who would have thought when you give an entire generation something they've wanted since they were tiny children,
people want it. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Yep.
Who knew?
Yep. Next up.
That's the game that they should have been trying to make since the beginning of the Harry Potter craze.
From the beginning, yep. They should have, for real. All those EA games were just wasted time to get to that. Yep. Next up, The Witcher 4. Right now, this is in full production at CD Projekt Red. I really struggle to guess when this might be coming out, though.
I still say 2030.
Because they just stopped 100% working on Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
So now
they only hit full production on this about a year ago.
Right.
And it took 4 years to make Cyberpunk, and Cyberpunk still took another year to be finished.
Right. They released it when they shouldn't have.
So I'm saying...
3 years from last year, so 2029, 20...
No, I'm saying 5 years.
5 years from last year?
Last year, 2030.
So that would be 6 years of production then.
No, that would be 5 years of full production.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's how long it took to finish Cyberpunk. Because they released it, well, essentially, I would say that you released Cyberpunk a year early.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll see something at the show?
I don't think so.
I mean, let's be honest. They already put out this huge chunk of Unreal Engine 5 footage. Yeah. Like, they say this isn't the game. This is the effing game. Nobody does this for a little demo.
I mean, sure, like but I would maybe the area won't be exactly the same. Maybe this exact mission probably won't be in it. But clearly, this is the
freaking game.
This is the baseline.
This is Witcher 4. This is what it's going to look like. Yeah,
what it's going to look like. It's more or less what it's going to play like.
Yeah. So
They're just saying, like, maybe this exact market isn't going to be in the actual final game, but I think you're getting a pretty good vertical slice here.
Now, they haven't even put out a trailer for this. They put this out, but they put out like a little teaser that shows the logo or whatever. They have not put out a legitimate trailer for this. Do you think we might get that at least? No.
This game's a whole high school graduation.
And this is why, Matt. This is why it's so far away. They're worried about the muscles of the horse.
Meanwhile, they debut Unreal 6
with Rocket League.
And I'm like, I mean, I guess it looks better than Rocket League,
but not really. I hear you. It was really
I don't know if you could have a better example of diminishing returns.
Than Rocket League.
Rocket League.
You're right. That's the least convincing argument for Unreal Engine 6 is Rocket League for sure.
But this, I mean, again, it's gorgeous. You don't really need more than this for a long time.
Yeah.
Especially not until you get to the point where you know exactly which tech you're going to have to push to convince everybody to buy new NVIDIA cards.
Yeah. I mean, now that we have this, all really people are going to want to see, fans, is story stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what's the plot?
What's the plot?
Who are the characters?
Where is everybody? What are you doing? What are you after?
I mean, look, you can. There's a bear walking across the log. I mean,
I'm going to go kill that bear.
Seriously.
What else am I going to do in the Witcher?
Yeah. But I mean, this video is so stunning that it's okay, Witcher 4 is going to look freaking awesome.
I mean, of course, all this stuff is like, it's not, because you got to hedge your bets in case, Puddlegate happens.
Right.
Because, okay, maybe there's not that many needles on the tree in the final version. If you're running a 5 series card, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, right? Pretty much.
But this, I mean, I already know that this is probably the game that's going to finally make me upgrade my graphics card in 4 years, right?
Yeah. I mean, look at that.
Look at it.
It's worth it.
Look at I mean, anyone who watches this show knows that one of the nitpicks I complain about all the time is objects clipping through flowing cloth and capes. And look at how the swords do not ever clip through the coat.
Or her arms or hands.
Her arms. Yeah. Like they brush again. Pristine. Yeah. How much do you want? Yeah. I will give you whatever you want for that graphics card that does that.
What about the game? Will you pay $100 for that one?
I will pay whatever they ask for this game. I mean, again, like I said, I've been replaying The Witcher 3 because one of my friends is starting it for the first time.
Yeah.
And I wanted to replay it to be able to answer her questions if she has any questions. Because I don't remember the beginning of that game. I'm like, I've been all the way through. I mean, I played I think 40 some hours of it in a week because it's my 6th time.
It's easy to get sucked
in. That game is in my top 5 easily.
It just
probably top 3.
Cinetike says, I think they're trying for a GTA 6 kind of scope with this. Yeah, and I mean, by that I mean attention to detail and So it could be a lot longer than 2030. Because they just said last week that they never want to repeat what happened with Cyberpunk 2077. They're like, we learned the lesson. We're never doing that again.
I think they can make 2030 if that's their prime focus for 5 whole years of the whole company, which it seems to be.
Yeah.
They've already got all that stuff working. And remember, by the time of 2030, that will be old tech.
I know. It'll actually look dated. If you can believe that.
It's like how everyone thought Star Citizen looked amazing.
Right. And now
it's just it just looks like everything.
It's like a Switch 2 game.
And you look at the characters in the cutscenes, you're like, that's not good.
Yep. $1 billion. They crossed $1 billion this week that people have given that money pit. $1 billion freaking dollars.
Those guys, crime does pay.
How do they get people to give them $5,000? I can't get people to give us $5 on our Patreon.
Well, have you tried putting pictures of spaceships up?
Because
that seems to be all it takes. Those guys are ahead.
Tomorrow, our Patreon's going to be all pictures of spaceships.
Yeah. Those guys are ahead of their time, man.
With the donation link underneath it, that's it.
2012, they were doing that stuff in 2012. That was way ahead. I mean, if only Chris Roberts was eligible to run for president.
Yeah,
they could really clean up.
All right, next up, Kingdom Hearts 4. People have forgotten about this. There's a trailer for this game that was put out 3 years ago.
I don't remember. It was last month or March or something. It was the 3 or 4 year anniversary of them putting this out and then never mentioning it again.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, they're way overdue to show this game.
Maybe it got shut down when Square wanted to go to the Song of the South
planet.
Disney's like, no. Goofy quit.
But seriously, what's happening with this game? Why does this franchise take 15 years to make a new entry?
I don't know. Yeah. So here's my answer to that question. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, I thought you cared. You love Kingdom Hearts.
That was 25 years ago.
I've known you that long.
It was literally 25. Kingdom Hearts came out 25 years ago.
I know. It's nuts. I mean, this trailer's 3 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, when do you think we'll realistically get a look at it?
The people who are strongly emotionally invested in Kingdom Hearts are 40 now.
Yeah. Yeah.
In Kingdom Hearts 3 kind of close it off well enough, I guess. I don't know.
Square Enix just said last week.
How many times we got to do this?
It just said last week that it's totally screwed up by taking forever to release its games. That it's kept young people from getting into Square Enix games.
As it continues to, like, just drag... I mean, how many times do you go back to the same fucking Disney worlds with the same... I mean, what's left? What are you doing that's going to actually advance anything or be interesting or do any... I mean, what is it?
Well, I mean, this is it, I guess. They're going into cities.
I guess, but where's it? I mean,
it's real bizarre.
and well, that's the thing is like less and less of the Disney stuff and more of the Square bullshit. Even
Which
though
is
the Final
a big
Fantasy
mistake to
characters
me.
are not even in the game anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Like, what are we doing anymore?
I know.
I don't
Again,
get it.
like, I feel like we should see another trailer for this.
Like, this could be any generic, like psychic horror, like action RPG we see from Atlas or whatever. It doesn't mean anything anymore.
I agree. Yeah.
Honestly, I think we're more likely to see Final Fantasy VII Remake 3 than this.
Well, it's awesome that you said that because that's next in the rundown.
At least we know somebody's making that one.
I think we are far more likely to see the first trailer for this than another trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4.
And we should, because this is more important to get out, frankly.
Yeah,
The
because you
iron
have
is still
people hooked
hot.
into the trilogy and all that.
Yeah, you got a job to do here.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 4, like, no one's walking around on a daily basis going like, wow, when Kingdom Hearts 4 going to come out? Like, no one's... Like, people are actively wondering when this is going to get a release window, at least. Whereas, like, Kingdom Hearts 4, I think everyone's just sort of accepted, like, maybe that game will exist
Will never
one day.
come out.
We might die first. We don't know. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
This one is definitely more pressing.
I don't need to run through another like Tron world again.
I agree.
I hate saying that, but it's like because it's like, oh, Tron Ares world. Like, don't make me do that. Don't make me go back to that. I don't need to see like fucking mocap Jared Leto. I don't need to be, we don't need to be there. We don't need to have that.
Also, Square Enix already said that this game is basically feature complete already. And so it's already kind of in the polish stage for it. That a couple of the developers have said they've already played through it from beginning to end like 40 times. So they're basically just polishing the game, maybe cutting some content or adding it here or there.
Yeah.
But
I'm saying this game's release date is basically going to depend on when Square Enix feels it's safe to release it around the periphery of
the
GTA
other
6.
stuff. Yeah. My guess is this probably comes out mid to late next year.
Probably.
And my guess is we will see the first trailer for this at either Jeff's thing or at PlayStation's thing, one or the other. But I think we'll see it. So, and to your point, yes, I think probably Kingdom Hearts 4 will not be shown at all.
No.
And God knows when. But
I will say I think Kingdom Hearts 4 will be out before The Witcher 4. But that is about it.
that'll be it. That's
And maybe
actually,
just by a week. But we'll see.
That's a tough one, actually. I wouldn't want to bet on that. Which one comes out first? I definitely wouldn't.
I don't know.
Even though we know that, Witcher's already been in full production for a while.
I mean, you're wandering into 10-year territory after the trailer at that point.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you really are. So my guess is, and it seems like your guess too, looking at chat, that you guys also think that Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 will be shown while other games will not from Square Enix. Yeah. Next up, Assassin's Creed Hexy. We just talked about this in the show a couple weeks ago. We heard tale that they're kind of toning it down, getting away from the supernatural, trying to tie it into reality a little bit more. This is the next mainline Assassin's Creed. We obviously just got information about the remake for Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, and that's coming out in the very near future here in like the next couple months. But this is the next mainline Assassin's Creed. When do you think we're going to get it?
I think next year.
So you think we'll get the first real trailer for this?
Like next week?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
I don't think we'll see this yet. They're going to push Black Flag we will not see anything about this until Black Flag's out.
So you think we'll see this at Game Awards?
Probably, yeah.
That'll still give them 8-9 months to promote it.
That's plenty of
That's
run-up.
plenty, yeah.
I got to go get some packages off the sidewalk.
Okay.
So.
But the way Ubisoft is working right now, I mean, its pace has slowed down drastically as far as its output is concerned at this point. So to Matt's point, yeah, it's hard to see Ubisoft right now releasing two games too close to each other. You got to realize it also has like Ghost Recon and Splinter Cell and a bunch of other franchises that it's been working on that it hasn't shown yet. And maybe those games are near completion and almost done. So it's really hard to figure out at this point when Ubisoft will be ready to show Hexy. Even though of all those games I just talked about, Hexy is definitely the one that I am most excited to play. But Ubisoft right now is so hard to read what's going on over there. I saw the developer Warhorse, who creates the Kingdom Come Deliverance games. The lead developer there this week said that Ubisoft has the manpower to create 8 or 9 Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 games per year. Per year. That's the number of people that are working on games at Ubisoft right now. And he's just like, I don't know what's going on over there. How are there so many people and no output? And obviously the answer to that is terrible management that is not managing their teams well. But what I'm getting at here is that because of all this information that we have about Ubisoft, it is almost impossible to predict anything about what Ubisoft is doing or any of its projects. So look, there's Far Cry 7 that's coming up too. There's all these games that are supposedly in the works, irons in the fire. But trying to predict when Ubisoft is going to announce one or when, or even harder, when it's going to release one of them, I think it's a fool's errand. So based on the fact that Hexy is the next mainline Assassin's Creed, and chances are it probably needs to come out next year, I'm pretty safe in saying we're probably going to see something from that game at one of these events over the next week and a half or 2 weeks. But it's hard to say how much. I mean, probably just the first real trailer that'll show maybe a couple of the characters. I mean, there's kind of rumors floating around that some of the old characters may be coming back, like Ezio may play a role in the game in some way. So I think people want to see that, and I think that's probably what we'll get. But to Matt's point, I think he's probably right. I think we're probably not going to see anything from another Assassin's Creed until the remake of Black Flag comes out here in the next couple months. And then after that, it's kind of all bets are off. So we'll see how it goes. Next up, Mass Effect 5 or Mass Effect 4. I don't know. It feels like the industry has settled on Mass Effect 5, and they're assuming that BioWare is going to account Andromeda as Mass Effect 4, but I personally haven't seen any information out there that says that BioWare believes that or EA believes that. I don't know. I don't know if it'll be Mass Effect 5 or Mass Effect 4, to be perfectly honest. But the bottom line is this game has been in development for a really, really long time. Like a really, really long time. Now they have staffed up, they've staffed down, they had a full team on it for a while, and then they took the full team off of it. And now they're saying that we have just enough people to work on the game and work is going along okay. But otherwise, we really have no clue. And I think a lot of people are afraid that if this game doesn't get out or get close to being finished before the Saudis take over at EA, I think a lot of people are afraid that this game may just be canceled and may never come out. But we're overdue to see a new trailer for this. We already have 2. They put out this trailer, and then that very short one that we showed at first was for an N7 day at some point. So we really have 1 trailer for this so far, and it doesn't give up hardly anything, as you're seeing right now. It's just like debris in space, and there's one scene where they're walking in the snow or whatever, and they find like an N7 logo. But otherwise, this doesn't give away much. So there's still tons of mystery around the next Mass Effect. Is it going to be Mass Effect 4, Mass Effect 5? How's it going to tie into prior games, if it does at all? We don't really know. But the bottom line is we are due for a new trailer for the next Mass Effect. So, and what else is EA going to do during the next 2 weeks? They're probably not going to show Madden, although they should, because that'll be coming out in August in the near future. And they're probably not going to show EA Sports FC. So chances are Mass Effect might be EA's only chance to be a part of all of this big, not E3, Summer Game Fest extravaganza that's about to happen over the next 2 weeks or so. So if I had to put a number on the percentage chance of the new Mass Effect being shown, I'd probably put that at like 50%. I think it's probably 50-50 whether we see another piece of media from the new Mass Effect. So I think that's a pretty good percentage, don't you think? What do you guys think? Noxatornitis says no. JM Rain says, breaking news, just got an email that Destruction All-Stars is going to be shut down. I'm sure we are all heartbroken. Yeah, I mean, I think I played that game for 4 hours or something like that and never went back. It was like a launch window multiplayer car combat game for PlayStation 5. Vincent says, no way, that would be saved for the Game Awards, if anything. I don't know why you would say that, Vincent, but I'm just going to read what you wrote in chat. Tekken Master, at least with Exodus, which is a Mass Effect-like that's in development right now. At least with Exodus, I just lost it there. In the Expanse games, it will hurt less if Mass Effect Next isn't shown. That's true. That is true. Commander Fett says, I don't think we'll see anything on Mass Effect with the EA sale happening. So you're kind of going back to what I was saying with the whole thing with Saudi Arabia. But I kind of look at it on in the other sense, that if you're working at EA right now and you know about the next Mass Effect, or you're working at BioWare and you've been working on the next Mass Effect, you know that things are about to get dicey once Saudi Arabia takes over control of EA. And so you might try to expedite things a little bit to get the next Mass Effect in that place that when the Saudis take over, it's undeniable that the project needs to be finished. Look, people who work at EA and at BioWare, they're smart just like us. And I guarantee you they're thinking about this just like we did. And they're going to say to themselves, man, we've put way too much into the next Mass Effect to let Saudi Arabia come in here and just cancel it. So we need to get this thing on its best footing as we can before they take over. So I personally think the Saudi Arabia deal actually makes it more likely that they will show the game instead of less likely. Because it's more likely that Saudi Arabia is going to cancel Mass Effect unless it's in a really, really good place. So that's what I would say. But we'll see. It's a total wild card. There's really no way to know. I hope I'm right and you're wrong, Commander Fett, but we'll see. Cinetype says, I guess ME4 implies bigger connection to Shepard, etc. 5 not so much. That's a good point, actually. If you go with the 5 number, it does kind of create that separation from 3 where you're like, wait a minute, where'd 4 go? But I guess this is something new. Perception matters a lot in entertainment, so you may be right, Cinetype. Let's see if there's any other comments. Commander Fed, I want to be wrong. Mass Effect 2 is my favorite game. Okay, so you're with me. You want yourself to be wrong too, just like I want you to be wrong. All right. Let's move on. Next up, 2 Tomb Raider games are on the way. The first one we're going to talk about is Tomb Raider Catalyst. This is the brand new Tomb Raider game that's kind of set in the same universe as the reboot trilogy. But she obviously looks a lot different. And I don't think the plot actually carries on from the third one, which I believe is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I think it does start with its own plot. But as you can see, it's the same graphics engine. It's made by the same development team. So there are some tweaks to Lara for this, and she looks different. And maybe the gameplay is a little bit different. But it is made by that same team, so expect that same level of quality. My guess is we maybe get a release window for this, Matt. Catalyst, Tomb Raider Catalyst, which is the new Tomb Raider game. Mm-hmm. They showed us this trailer that shows a lot, but we haven't heard anything since. And don't forget, there's another Tomb Raider game that's in development we're going to talk about in just a second. But Catalyst, the new one, coming from the same team that made the last 3, my guess is you're going to want at least 18 months between those 2 releases.
Probably.
Because the other one's called, what, Fate of Atlantis or something? Legacy of Atlantis or something like that?
Legacy sounds right? I don't remember.
And this is it. And this is basically just a remake of the first Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
This one's coming first, for obvious reasons. And this is a huge, bless you, this is a huge upgrade over the game that it's based on.
Might actually be good.
Yeah. Because the first Tomb Raider, if you go back and play it now, it's not good.
I didn't think it was good when I played it when it came out.
I didn't either, Matt. I'll be honest with you. A lot of those early PS1 games, I did not like.
No.
Like, a lot of my friends have PlayStation 1s, and they force themselves through those games. And I just sat there, and I'm like, what are you doing?
I used to say at the time, like, these games are not going to age. Like, people are going to look back on this as like, what the hell were we thinking? And everyone thought I was crazy. And I was like, no, this is primitive first-gen 3D stuff, and none of this is going to work right because it's all so janky and weird.
Yeah.
And I was 100% correct.
Yeah.
And yeah, we still have some weird people who want pre-rendered backgrounds in Resident Evil games, but we can ignore that. We can ignore them.
But look, I've liked the last 3 Tomb Raider games a lot, so I am very, very excited.
I mean,
for this.
I even liked the original remake of this that Crystal Dynamics did.
Yeah.
There were always good games in the Tomb Raider concept. Mm-hmm. They just didn't happen until like 2008.
Yeah. I think both of these Tomb Raider games we'll see a bunch of.
And remember, Angel of Darkness is one of the reasons X-Play existed.
Right, that's true. Yeah, because of that glitch with the eyeball and everything. Yeah. It's like
whoever was playing it, and like we all kind of gathered in a lab and we're just making fun of it, and we're like, and one of the high-level producers was like, why isn't this just our show?
Yeah,
like, why don't we just do this?
It's really funny. I wouldn't be surprised if we see those Tomb Raider games in multiple press events over the next 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Or for sure, if they give one of the games to Xbox and the other game to PlayStation.
It's definitely not the time to be shy.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of both of those games over the next week or so. Ruthina 77, heavily delayed controls. Swanland says, just lost him.
This looks good, but I don't care about raiding tombs. Good news. You almost never raid any tombs.
You don't do that in Tomb Raider
games.
anymore. Business says, I'm not sure we'll see the new game. They wanted to focus on the remake since the new game is late next year. And to be honest, we'll probably get pushed. Maybe.
Yeah.
And Silk Shakes asked if it's this year. Yes, the remake of the first Tomb Raider is this year. And then the new one, Catalyst, is for next year. So, yeah, there'll be some separation between those two games. But I think both of them are going to be blown out pretty heavily. But to Vincent's point, we'll definitely see more of the Atlantis remake than we'll see of the new one for sure.
Yeah.
But I think we'll get at least new trailers for both. Next up. Injustice 3. So I'm kind of torn, Matt, on whether they are really making Injustice next or if they're making another Mortal Kombat. Because NetherRealm just said last week that, Mortal Kombat is coming. Like, we're not stopping. The cadence is there.
Is
this the wrong trailer?
This looks like Black Panther. Captain
Oh, you're right.
America.
This is the wrong trailer. Thank you, Matt, for catching that. What do you think? You think they're going to go with the Injustice 3 or you think MK? MK feels like striking while the iron's hot right now, but...
Well, except MK completely died on the Vine last time. So
I mean, it sold like 10 million units, but you're right.
Killed it.
You're right. The post-launch support was not as good as NetherRealm typically provides.
I think probably Injustice would be a better direction to take, but I don't know if either one's really a surefire hit. But it does kind of feel like it's time to let Mortal Kombat rest.
It feels like it to me, but, I guess the other part, too, is the movie just came out. So it's not like there's a movie coming up. So maybe it does make more sense to go with Injustice.
Yeah, but nobody cared.
Yeah.
So the movie kind of came and went.
Yeah. It also feels like there's a little bit of a resurgence in DC right now because they got good people working on the films finally, and some of the Batman games are looking pretty good.
The only problem with that is that like Injustice is kind of the old version of DC where everything's dark and weird and Superman's a murderer. And
right.
It's like well maybe it'll be a hit with the Snyder people, but like that's sort of over.
Yeah, it is over.
Not even sort of over. Like,
I mean, my guess is that NetherRealm will reflect that in the new game.
Yeah, like they did.
But there are plots in these games too,
right?
You know?
Well, they did in the last one. They brought in like a good Superman to fight the bad Superman, which I guess you could lean into that to some degree.
Yeah.
The Injustice comics were actually some of the best comics DC did for a long time because the thing is, when you're telling a story in an alternate universe where you have a planned ending for it, you can let characters evolve and change and die and switch and be you can have actual progression in a narrative that you can't really have in an ongoing serialized comic series that's been going since 1939.
Yeah, that's true. Which would you be more excited for, a new MK or a new Injustice?
Injustice.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat is fine, but like I didn't even finish the story in one.
I did.
One. It was just sort of like, okay, like more punching. I get it. Like you've reset the timeline twice now. And it's sort of like I don't really care anymore.
It does make you feel like you're a fool for getting dragged along. So you're like, wait, you're gonna get me into this. I'm gonna remember all this stuff and memorize it, and then you're just gonna yank the rug out from underneath me.
Yeah, and it felt a lot of Mortal Kombat 1 felt like a setup for the next one, and it's like, guys, you make these every few years. Like you gotta. You can't do this like it's a season of television. And also, even the seasons of television take 3 years.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, that is over. Like, you have to tell a self-contained story that has some hooks for the next thing, but you can't, your whole production cannot be in Act 1.
Yeah. Yep. And NetherRealm is due to show something new, by the way. It's been 3 years, 4 years since Mortal Kombat 1. So,
Has it been that long?
I think so. 3 years? Yeah.
Really?
It's ready to show something.
2023.
And also, as you said, it didn't support it with much DLC after launch either, like it has in the past. So it was able to kind of move on to its next project. Has it been 3 years?
2023.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
September 2023.
Yep. So we'll see, but I think
Doesn't
one of
seem
the
like
two
that
will be
long.
shown. It'll either be MK or Injustice 3, depending on what NetherRealm is doing. And then we kind of spoiled the next game for you, and that is Marvel 1943, Rise of Hydra. It's the game from Amy Hennig, who used to work at Naughty Dog on the Uncharted franchise, so obviously narrative is going to be a big part of this. We've yet to really see what the gameplay in this is. The rumors have started making the rounds that it's not all that active, and it is more of a narrative-driven game. Mm-hmm. But we have not seen squat about this game.
What I always said.
Yeah.
I said it was going to be like a Telltale game.
Well, there's that one shot in this trailer where it does show some action.
Right, but there's been fights in Telltale games
right.
too.
Yeah.
Batman Telltale also had fights, but they were not
You weren't controlling them. Yeah. But we really don't know. We have no idea It seemed like this game was imminent when they first showed this, and now the years have just dragged on since. So I don't know. Like the chances of this being shown is a total crapshoot. Like
more likely this gets shown than the Blade game.
Yeah,
that much.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, I'd agree with that actually.
Because that Blade teaser turned out to be they were trying to get people to
join the team.
Yeah, like that years and years away if it ever happens.
Yeah,
which sucks because Blade should be a pretty no-brainer for a video game premise.
Yeah, this game has been in development for like 4 or 5 years now. Like it should be close to at least being shown what it exactly is.
You'd
like,
think.
But who knows? But what percentage would you give of this being shown over the next week and a half?
Like 25.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. Which sucks, man. Like, what the hell is going on with this damn game? Like,
what do I need to do to get another Amy Hennig game in my lifetime?
Seriously, it's starting to look really grim. So anyway, we'll see.
You took your Star Wars game away from me. You took another Marvel game away from me. Like, come on.
Yep. Next up.
Let the kids play a game written by Amy Hennig.
Seriously. Next up, Persona 6.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's a very high chance we see Persona 6, and most likely in the PlayStation State of Play.
Is it?
Next week.
Have we even seen anything from this yet?
No. They've announced it.
Yeah.
That they're working on it or whatever, but they have not shown anything. There's no trailer, no teaser trailer, no nothing. But obviously, it is way overdue. But, Persona games do take 10 years between each entry, typically, roughly. But, they did 6 different spin-offs of this game, of Persona 5.
You gotta very carefully repeat yourself 14 times in the game, and that just doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, I mean, I'd give this probably a 50-50 chance of being shown. If they hadn't done 8 spin-offs of Persona 5.
Probably be the right place to do it.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah. But it's due to be shown. It should be shown anytime now. So Persona 6 should definitely be on your radar as a game that could be shown. Do you think they'll continue on with this set of characters since they were so popular?
No, they've never.
I know they've never done it.
That's the definition of the new number.
Really?
Yeah.
I hope so.
There's 0% chance they would continue with these characters.
They made a ton of money off this cast.
Doesn't matter. They made a ton of 4 too. But the cast is Persona 5.
Yeah.
Persona 6 is a completely new story with a completely new set of characters.
I know that's how they've always done it, but I think if there's one exception, this would be the one they have to think about.
Then it's not Persona 6.
Yeah.
That's it. It's very simple.
I mean, to be fair, they did already make like 5 spin-offs, so yeah. And they were all called Persona 5 : whatever.
That's how it works.
Yeah. But hopefully they will show us Persona 6 for the first time. We'll see. What about Sonic Frontiers 2? That game came out in 2022, the first open world Sonic game.
I don't know. Maybe.
That's way overdue to be shown.
Feels like that would have leaked along with Virtua Fighter.
Probably, yeah. But that's, it's been 4 years. Hard to believe it's been 4 years since that game came out, but it's been 4 freaking years. So that could be shown. Warhorse, we talked about them earlier, the studio that makes Kingdom Come Deliverance, is working on an open world Lord of the Rings game.
Woof.
That rumors have been circulating for the last few days that it's like almost done.
That's what I've always wanted, is a Lord of the Rings game where I have to remember how much I drank.
Outwardly, it seems like a good fit.
Yeah, like aesthetically, it seems like a good fit, but in terms of like what you play, like, I mean, it'd have to be much less of a medieval sim than what Kingdom Come is.
This is a very polarizing franchise. People that like this franchise love this franchise. Right. And people like us who don't like it really don't like it. And look, we've waited a really long time for a really great Lord of the Rings game, so I have to admit I'm a little bummed to find out it's from a studio that typically where I don't like its games. Mm-hmm. But it could be the first truly great Lord of the Rings game. I mean, can you think of another one?
Yeah, the Stormfront hack and slashes from back in the day, the Battle for Middle-earth games.
All right. Yeah. The Nemesis system. What happened to the Nemesis system?
The Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War games.
Yeah.
Like there've been them.
Yeah, there's been some.
They've existed.
Yeah. But
the Lord of the Rings has done better in the board game world in terms of that. But there are some good video games.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good studio to make it. Just Matt and I don't like their particular style of RPG.
No, I mean, I hate their combat.
Yeah, me too.
Like, it's just, I mean, it's when it's stamina driven to the point that it annoys me, like, you've got a problem.
And it bothers me.
And I don't understand what I'm doing wrong half the time. I mean, I played that first game like 3 times. I gave that first game 3 shots to try to figure out how it worked, and I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't understand how it worked, or I just can't do enough damage to anything.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm right there with you. I hate the combat. We have to go through the rest of these very quickly.
I hope Warhorse remembers that if you make a Lord of the Rings game, you're making them for like the masses.
Yeah.
You're not making them for your weird like Ren Fair medieval reenactment people.
Yep, which is a real concern based upon Kingdom Come Deliverance.
I mean, we'll see. Like, obviously, you know, Playground Games can pivot from a racing open world to a Fable hack and slash action RPG, maybe. Yeah, but you know, part of the problem I think is that the guy who runs Warhorse seems to be kind of an arrogant dipshit. So like, we're gonna have to see how willing he is to compromise his studio's sort of vision of how these sort of things should work in the name of appealing to like peasants, basically.
The plebes. Next up, Crazy Taxi. There is a Crazy Taxi reboot on the way from Sega. They announced like a bunch of reboots, and Sega's released a couple of them already, so there's not a lot of them left, so it might be time to finally get a look at the new Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, there's an Echo thing in the works somewhere, too.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, they showed this clip, and that's it, and this is obviously low res and looks awful. So hopefully we get the first real trailer of the new Crazy Taxi. We should. They showed this a couple years ago at this point. So
yeah, how dare you not release it in a timely manner, because now nobody can do the "I didn't expect to get here so fast"
right.
reference.
That's funny. And then another Sega game, another reboot of an old franchise is Jet Set Radio. They've been working on that as well. And that is long due to be shown as well. So those are 3 Sega games: Sonic Frontiers, Jet Set Radio, and Crazy Taxi. Those are 3 Sega games that could be spread out across all of the presentations, because each one kind of fits in a different one. Like, I could see Crazy Taxi being in like the Nintendo Direct. I could see this being in the Xbox, because once Dreamcast died, Xbox kind of became the surrogate Dreamcast. And I could see Sonic being in the PlayStation one. So I wouldn't be surprised if Sega manages to triple down on all 3 of those and get its games in all of them. But these 3 games should be shown at E3 2026, of course. All that stuff could change. You just never know. And then just a couple more. Stellar Blade 2. Ended up being a big hit, the first Stellar Blade. The studio says that the sequel is going to be multi-platform. It is not going to be a PlayStation exclusive. That's the only information we have on it so far. This is another one of those games that generally people seem to like more than Matt and I did.
I did finish the PC version.
Did you?
A couple of years ago. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
As these character action things go, if you can look past the weird cheesecake nonsense. The story does take itself weirdly seriously and then there's a big, very easy to predict twist in the middle of it where you're like, you guys didn't know that? Like that?
Wait, you thought the game told you, but because it was so obvious?
Right. Well, because like you're just sort of shocked the characters didn't figure it out.
Right.
Like it's so obvious that you're like, I thought the characters knew this already, and it's like they act like it's this big horrible surprise. I'm like, oh, I thought we were doing something different. I'm sorry. I thought we were in a different place. That's on me. That's on me. I thought you were smart.
Game ended up selling almost 5 million units. So for a first new IP, that's pretty darn good. So the sequel's in the works. I would not be surprised if that's shown. My guess is it would probably be shown, even though it's not a PlayStation exclusive, it would probably still be shown in the State of Play. I think that's what most people associate Stellar Blade with. And then the final game we're going to talk about among third parties is Light No Fire, the only indie game that we're going to talk about. It is the brand new game from Hello Games. We got this trailer years ago. We haven't heard crap about this game since.
Well, you keep seeing its tech pop up in No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
So every time they finish a new feature, they also put it in No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
So you can kind of gauge the progress of this game by every time a new free update goes up for No Man's Sky.
But we should definitely see something from this game.
It's getting
over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. And they've hinted that like they're ready to show something, I think.
Yep. So hopefully we'll get to see something from the team.
Keep an eye on Sean Murray's tweeting.
Twitter. Yeah, he's prolific tweeting, but he also is pretty honest in his tweeting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, keep an eye on his Twitter account.
Man learned a lesson.
He definitely did the hard way, for sure. So anyway, that's all the big third-party stuff. I may have missed a couple games here and there, so don't get all mad at me if there's some game that I missed. I'm only one person. I can only do so much research in a week's time. But these were the big third-party games that, again, are games that we don't really know about, and there's mystery around, and that's kind of what I wanted to focus on. Okay, let's move on to Xbox. And one thing I'm going to say before we discuss this, Matt, is that for a very long time, there were all these big Xbox games that were going to come out. And now we're to the point where a lot of them have come out or are right on the brink of coming out. And so I guess for me, looking at how Microsoft might approach this, one, it needs to talk about Project Helix a little bit at least, even though it's probably way too early to do that. I still feel like it needs to, just to let people know, like, hey, we're not leaving this industry. You may have heard some stuff, but, like, we're not. So I think it needs to talk about that. But I also feel like it's going to be kind of tied up, figuring out whether it wants to talk about all the stuff that's coming out in the next couple months, or, like, to finally fill us in on what's coming out after that. Because we really don't know about anything. Like, all the games that we know about for Xbox right now are all coming out in the next, like, 6 to, like, 9 months or so. So it'll be interesting to see how it tackles it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we get, like, several announcements for brand new games from Xbox, even though it has a really good lineup coming up here in the next, like, 6 or 9 months. And obviously we're going to start off with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. Just this past week, Infinity Ward, its YouTube channel came alive out of nowhere, and they had this little developer doc thing talking about working at this. So anyway, they're basically greasing the wheels for the next 2 weeks when they debut the next Call of Duty that is coming from Infinity Ward. I would have not been surprised, however, if they had waited and took a year off after what happened with Black Ops 7. But I think because it's not a Black Ops imprint, they're like, well, maybe we can fool people into...
The machine must grind.
Right. And the machine is going to grind.
Blood for the blood god.
Yeah. So Modern Warfare 4 is the next in line for Infinity Ward. Infinity Ward's already started talking, so chances are we'll see the debut trailer for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 next week. And also I should mention that Microsoft's thing, as always, is on Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. It still has held that slot down after all these years. So we'll get Sony...
Just assuming that Xbox people don't go to church, I guess.
Yeah, it's almost a week after PlayStation's thing. So that gives Microsoft a lot of time to like think and adjust on what it wants to show. So it'll be interesting to see if it actually does. But anyway, definitely one of the big games will be Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. And I don't want to spend too much time on this because it's pretty much a known quantity at this point, but Fable, obviously, is the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Still haven't seen any just straight gameplay of this. My guess is that's what's going to happen here. We're going to see a developer walkthrough at least 10, 15 minutes, show you the open world, show what you can do in the hub town, take you out on a couple missions.
It really feels like and maybe I'm piecing this together because of with the footage we saw, it really feels like the template for this is Hogwarts Legacy.
And that would be a good template to use.
Yeah, I mean, there's worse places to start from.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. So I kind of hope that
right
is
down
the
to
case.
how just impenetrably British it is.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. But I think we'll see a lot of this. And we'll get the final release date, and the release date will be this year. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if this is October, too.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Good Halloween release.
Yeah, it would be. So, yeah, I think we'll get all the last details on Fable. We'll know when it's coming out. We'll have a good idea what the game is, and then the wait will be on, basically, to play it.
And then GTA 6 will come out, and no one will ever talk about it again.
Yep, that's going to happen to a lot of games. Next up, Gears of War E-Day. Just this morning, Korea rated Gears of War E-Day. So that tells you that the game is coming out fairly soon. It doesn't mean it's coming out right away, but it does mean that it's probably coming out fairly soon. I would guess that we're going to get first gameplay of this. We're going to get the idea of how the whole game is structured. This is a prequel, by the way, another prequel. So they'll talk about maybe how the plot ties in and how the game gets you into the beginning of the first Gears of War, and then we'll get the release date. And I think the release date will be this year as well. I'm hoping it's on my fantasy team, so I hope it is this year. But I think we'll get that. We'll get gameplay. I think it'll be a big blowout for Gears of War E-Day. This will be the game that either starts it or finishes it. We'll see. But I think
Whether you like it or not.
Yep, seriously. But
This
I think
actually is at least an interesting story to tell.
Agreed.
In that world.
I'm more excited for this than the next new Gears.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
I hate to admit it, but I am. That's just the way it is with the way the last couple... No, it's not like the last couple Gears games were bad. They were both good, like really good.
Yeah, it's kind of like Halo, where it's just like, I really feel like you told the story, guys.
I'm just more bought into these characters than I am in the characters that are in the new ones. So I'm pretty excited for this, and my guess is we'll get a release date, and it should be this year. Next up, Halo 7. We just talked about this last week. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. The next Halo, whatever it ends up being called. What percentage do you think will a chance that we get to see the new Halo?
Like 10.
Yeah, I think that's right.
If they're going to push anything, they'll push the remake of 1.
Yep. And it's kind of what we were talking about earlier with Assassin's Creed. Like, I don't think they want to step on the toes of the next game that we're going to talk about, which is Halo Campaign Evolved. So, that remake of the first Halo campaign is coming out multi-platform. My guess is they're not going to want to step on its toes at all. They want to make sure that game does as well as it can so that people care about the new Halo. So my guess is we don't see the next Halo at all. 10% may even be a little bit high. I'd put it probably closer to 5 or even 0. So I don't think we're going to see any of that. But I do think we're going to see this next game, State of Decay 3. I think we're absolutely going to see the first gameplay of this. We might get a release window as well. This game's been in development for a long time. Just recently we learned that one of the big features that was shown in its first trailer isn't going to be there, which was hunting zombie animals.
Yeah.
Which was like the crux of the whole first trailer, and that's not even in the game now.
You're only in for hunting zombie deer. We got bad news.
Yeah. But I do think that we'll get first gameplay of this. We actually kind of already got some snippets of gameplay like a month or two ago. But I think we'll get a developer walkthrough for this, or at the very least, like a gameplay trailer, and then its release window. And my guess is this, I hope that they don't release this early, like they have the last 2 games when they're not finished.
Yeah, it feels like really that at this time, you got to make sure this thing fucking works.
Yeah. I'm thinking 2028 for this game.
Maybe.
We'll see. They may try to shove it into 2027.
Like, it depends, like, how far it's going to, we don't know what state anything here is in.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. Like that first, I gave up on the last one because my car kept disappearing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Me too.
that should never happen.
And that sucks. It really sucks. Yep. There's all kinds of problems with that. So anyway, chances are we're going to see more on this finally because it hasn't been canceled, which I'm actually surprised at because it canceled some other games. It seemed like better candidates for being canceled than this one. But it's like if you cancel this, what does that team do? Undead Labs. It's all it does.
Yep.
It's the only franchise it's created. So then you have a worthless studio. So that's probably why State of Decay 3 has not been canceled. Then next, there's a Wolfenstein 3 is in development at Machine Games. It's been a while since we got anything from Machine Games, so they definitely could show Wolfenstein 3. First trailer, first teaser trailer, whatever. Stomping zombies always a good time, and that's one thing that the team at Machine Games understands very, very well. Is killing Nazis. So we should get a look at Wolfenstein 3. And then there's Clockwork Revolution, which is this Bioshock-ish take on also a little bit of Outer Worlds in there.
Yeah, it's just like we have like a weird space capitalism RPG, and we might as well have a Clockpunk one too.
Yeah. This game looks pretty cool, but we haven't seen hardly anything from it. Like, this trailer shows a lot of gameplay, but remember the Perfect Dark reboot that showed a lot of gameplay, too? Yep. I mean, I'll be honest, like, I'm not 100% sure this game's ever going to come out.
Yeah, there's a chance we'll never actually see this.
Yeah. And I think this, not E3, will probably determine whether that happens. Like, if we see the game, it's probably going to come to full release. If we don't see it, it's probably going to be canceled.
Or, who knows, because, State of Decay 3.
Right.
Like, you never know what's percolating back there.
The other part, too, is Microsoft may just look down the barrel at its release schedule for, like, Q2 of 2028 and be like, wait, we got nothing there. Like,
there's also, like, you want to space some of this out, probably, because I think tonally this is a little too similar to Fable.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, even that guy looks like he could be from
Fable. Yeah. It does feel like Microsoft's first-party games do feel a little similar.
There's, like, dude bro shooters and
then there's this stuff like this,
parody,
like
satire, action RPG, like action RPG stuff.
Yeah,
and
because Outer Worlds 2 looked a lot like this too.
Yeah.
And by the way, it bombed. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
It bombed. We're never getting another Outer Worlds.
It was a shame because it
is really good. Yep. So
but it doesn't matter.
Right. And I do wonder if Microsoft looks at that
just
and
like
it's
Dishonored, just like Prey.
Yeah. That's the reason why I think this might be canceled, because they're like, wait a minute, we had Outer Worlds 2, which was a sequel to a game that sold very, very well, that looks very similar to this, and it bombed, and it was from Obsidian. And now we have this other thing that looks kind of similar, not with the pedigree. I don't know. We'll see. I think this game's on thin ice right now.
Yeah, I mean, I like this aesthetic, but I feel like most people don't.
Yeah.
Like this is not there's never really been a mainstream clockpunk steampunk hit.
Then there probably never will be, Matt.
Largely because cyberpunk is interesting because cyberpunk is inherent to the story and the theme and what you're exploring with those stories. Steampunk is a setting.
Yeah.
It has nothing, like, you're never really digging into, like, the morality or ethics or possibilities of Steam power. That's not, maybe, I mean, usually it's some sort of like, haves and have-nots class warfare thing, but you don't need steampunk to tell that story. Whereas Cyberpunk is very specifically about the technology run amok, that it feels relevant to today because we are on the fringe of so many things like that. Whereas, like, you don't really need steampunk to tell any story. It's just like, hey, we put a bunch of gears on this guy's clothes. Well, what do they do? Well, there's gears on the clothes, though. Yeah, but what did they do? They just, nothing.
Vincent brings up a good question. Which will come out first? Clockwork Revolution, Bioshock 4, or Judas?
Well, at least we know people who worked on Judas.
Yeah, I think it goes Judas, Clockwork Revolution, then Bioshock 4. That'd be my guess.
Yeah.
If they all come out, which I'm not sure.
Or maybe this comes out, bombed so hard that they cancel Bioshock 4.
The other ones.
Yeah.
That's possible. Okay, and then the final game that we suspect is going to be shown at the Xbox presser is Minecraft Dungeons 2. I really like the first Minecraft Dungeons. It's like a Diablo set in the Minecraft universe. Very addictive. I played through the whole thing in almost one sitting. It was easy, too. It wasn't that long. I think it was only like 8 hours long or something like that if you just played through it. But it was a nice little twist on the Diablo formula that I enjoyed playing when it came out, and the sequel's on the way from the same studio that made the first one. So probably the smallest thing being shown at Microsoft's thing as far as first-party stuff is concerned, but it should be there. So how you feeling about Microsoft after going through that stuff? Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of interesting stuff, some not interesting stuff. And it's just going to depend when it's ready, I guess. Like,
do you see now, though, maybe it might be time to start showing a couple new games?
Yeah, but I mean, if they're ready. I mean, again, I don't know what the second half of the year looks like for them beyond Fable, but like,
is Activision never going to release anything but Call of Duty now? Is that where we're at?
Maybe.
Is it just it has all this IP and it's not going to do anything with it?
You'd think. I mean, you own Activision. I mean, where they're not even making deals with like you have control of all these licensed games, and I'm sure the licensees would. I mean, I know Hasbro wants to reissue those Transformers games, but they just couldn't get any headway with Activision. Yeah. And Microsoft's like, "Hey, talk to us. We'll try." And like nothing. That's been 2 years. Nothing. Yeah. Like why in the world have you not talked to Marvel about reissuing everything Activision ever made for them?
I know.
Where are the X-Men Legends and Marvel Ultimate Alliance games?
Yep.
What? Those things go for hundreds on the secondary market. Why are you not putting them out? All the Spider-Man movie, why are you not putting them out? Why all the Spider-Man stuff? Not the movie show would probably have to talk to Sony
licensing,
about it. But like the non-movie, like Edge of Tomorrow, and
that should all be there.
Web of Shadow. Like why are you not putting this stuff out?
It's crazy.
Like there's demand for it. They go for huge money.
I know. I don't get it either. But anyway, that's Microsoft. That's what you should expect. Again, that is next Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And then finally, we're going to talk about Nintendo. And Nintendo has not even announced its Direct for not E3 yet. We don't even know when it's happening. I think last year it happened in either the last week of June or the first week of July or something. It
was far enough away that it felt like Nintendo was sort of like
not even a part of
being recalcitrant about it. It's like kind of doing that French thing, or it's just like, well, what was everyone else doing? Well, we're not gonna.
Yeah. But we're going to rip through quickly the stuff that Nintendo should or might show in its event over the next month or so. The first is probably the Ocarina of Time remake that at this point because the Star Fox remake came from the same source as the Ocarina of Time remake. So everyone's just kind of assumed at this point, like, okay, you got the Star Fox stuff right. You're probably right about Ocarina of Time as well. So that remake, when do you think we might see that as far as a release? You think it might come out like this year?
I think this fall.
Yeah, me too. I think it'll be Nintendo's big Q4 game for Switch 2. And I think we'll see.
It's a way to do with the 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
So
otherwise, it's kind of let that anniversary just slide away.
It really has fizzled.
Yeah, it's been not impressive. But if an Ocarina of Time remake would definitely help Nintendo recoup its reputation in the eyes of fans.
I look forward to the very nice gold packaged physical copy disappearing in 10 seconds.
Right, yeah. So anyway, that I think is a pretty sure bet that it will be there at Nintendo's event. And then, I mean, we're obviously overdue for the next 3D Mario, whether it's Super Mario Odyssey 2 or a brand new 3D Mario. What if Nintendo did like a Super Mario 64 2? Which
we got a Twilight Princess remaster on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Was it on the
It was Wii U, I think.
Yeah, it was Wii U.
Yeah. It was a remaster though, not remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
It still looked good.
That's what dazzles us. It was like, forget Ocarina, do a Twilight Princess remaster. Twilight Princess remaster exists.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they haven't brought forward the Twilight Princess and
to Switch
and Wind Waker Wii U remasters forward.
I don't know either.
Why would you not re-release those?
They could be announced in the next month.
The other nice
They
thing,
really could.
The other nice thing about that Twilight Princess one is it's the correct flip because the Wii version flipped everything.
Right. That's right.
So he'd be right-handed because
Right.
everybody didn't like using the Wii controller left-handed. But on the GameCube. Not the GameCube. Was that GameCube before the Wii? Yes.
Yeah.
So the GameCube version and the Wii U version flip it back. Having the original one where he's
Right.
left-handed.
Lefty.
And I got to admit, playing it that way was like, oh, the map makes a lot more sense the other way around. You could tell it was, I don't know, left and right are different.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yep.
But yeah, I would like to see those get brought forward. I don't know why they haven't done it.
Yep. Next 3D Mario should be shown. We should see the next 3D Mario.
I would be very surprised.
Really?
Yeah.
So
I think that's late next year.
yeah, I mean, I think it's probably next holiday's game.
I don't think they're talking about that till next year.
I mean, you're right. Nintendo's kind of been that way. It seems like it works in 6-month increments.
Yep.
Yeah. It only talks about what's coming out in the
If
next
it ain't
6
coming
months.
out this fall, we're not going to hear about it.
You may be right, actually. Which means that we're probably not going to see the next game either, which is the next open world big Zelda game.
Not a chance in hell.
No.
Not while the Ocarina remake's in play.
So you think this is similar to what we talked about with like Assassin's Creed earlier?
Yeah.
Like you don't want to step on the toes of the Ocarina
Absolutely
of
not.
Time
No.
remake.
That's your Zelda thing.
Yeah.
Maybe you tease this at the Game Awards.
Do you realize how
But, like, that's
pissed
it.
off people are going to be, though, if we go through Nintendo's E3 2026 and neither 3D Mario nor the next mainline Zelda game is announced?
Do you realize how little Nintendo cares?
I know. But already people are so angry about that, and it's only been... The Switch 2 hasn't even been available for a year.
What are you gonna
And
do?
if you talk to anybody about Switch 2, just remember, Stevens Charles, when he was here 2 weeks ago, all he cared about was Mario and Zelda. And I was like, so when you finish those games in a week, what then? And he was like,
Well, as Gabe Newell says, these things take time.
Yeah. So I hear you. It does seem implausible that the next mainline Zelda would be shown, but man, fans are going to be so mad if not at least one of those
Well,
two
you might
games.
as well get mad now because you ain't seeing Mario or Zelda in this thing.
Well, they are. I guarantee you they're already mad right
Not the
now.
next full installments. I mean, I'm sure we'll probably get some other Mario bullshit.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe some little spin-off or
Yeah.
something. And then here's a big X factor, Matt. What do you think's going on with Smash Brothers?
nothing.
You think it's dead?
Pretty much.
I mean, he said it is, but he's also still employed.
Yeah.
And he released his Kirby game already.
He's working on his next Kirby game.
It may be.
He's gonna make Kirby games forever.
It seems short-sighted to kill Smash Brothers.
I think you didn't kill it. Ultimate's still playable.
Yeah.
It's still there.
I mean, it's playable on Switch too.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is called Ultimate.
It is. Yeah.
It's like there's Smash Brothers.
And to be
That's
fair, I mean, it's
What
hard
else
to
you wanna
imagine
do?
what you would do.
Yeah.
Other than make the
We
graphics
want to start
better.
over again? Like, who
Yeah.
wants to do that?
Yeah. I mean, it's possible. It's such a cash cow, though. It's just hard to imagine.
Well, then just
Nintendo-
add on to this one.
Yeah.
Frankly, just start making some new characters.
Or maybe put out a new graphics engine for Switch 2,
Yeah.
kind of like what they did with World of Warcraft.
You don't need to release a new game for that.
Yeah. And all the unlocks are still there. You still have all your characters and
Yeah.
everything. And maybe you sell it for like 40 or 50 bucks instead of... Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Nope. I mean, you need to include like 12 new characters. For
Yeah. Do you think fans will be okay if they did that, though, and just, like, improve the graphics and just left the rest of it the same?
Not for $40.
Yeah.
I mean, that's maybe a $10 upgrade.
Right. Yeah. Graphic upgrades. I don't know what that
What
value
would it
is,
even
actually.
be? Just like ray tracing? I don't know. Like,
Well, I mean, these character models are a little rough. I mean, they don't have, like...
But you see them from so far away. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
I mean, that you're right. That is... I mean, other than the end when they do their poses and stuff, you're right. Like, you see it from so far away. The upgrades would be hard to notice for most people.
Smash Brothers is fine. Not everything needs to live forever.
Yeah.
And this kind of will live forever. 'Cause
Yeah.
As long as you keep porting it forward, and they
Yeah.
will.
Yeah. And I think they're at a point where they can keep doing that.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's going to look really old, though.
I mean, you can probably next
Keep
generation
doing the
you know,
graphics.
revamp it.
Yeah.
But like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a big Smash fan either, honestly. What else we got? What about the next Xenoblade, Matt? Are we due to see that? Because they just put out, the remake of Xenoblade Chronicles X or whatever?
Yeah,
Which also tanked, by the way.
the word was that there's an actual Switch 2 native version of X coming.
Oh, really?
But yeah, it is time for Monolith to have a new project
Mm-hmm.
somewhere in here.
Yeah, you think maybe a trailer we'll get?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, presumably, presumably it's about time for Xenoblade Chronicles 4.
It is, yeah.
If they intend to continue it.
Yeah, and like to what we were saying earlier, like 6 months.
Or another
like,
spin-off.
Like in the next 6 months. Like it could possibly.
Xenoblade Chronicles Y.
Right.
Which is also my question.
Yeah, I mean it could it could be like Nintendo's like November game, whereas Ocarina of Time remake is its December game or whatever. They could flip them or
Yeah, because they did that with 3. Like 3 was like announced like 7 or 8 months before it came out. It was shockingly soon.
Yep. Yeah, so that could happen. So that could be one game that's shown that's brand new. And then what about, if I can find the clips here, Luigi's Mansion 4. Nintendo bought that studio. What are they called? Next Level Games or something like that? Nintendo bought that studio, and what else has it been working on? It's only working on Luigi's Mansion 4. It's been years since Luigi's Mansion 3. It's due to be shown with a trailer.
And there was Luigi's Mansion stuff in the new movie. So.
Yep. So striking while the iron's hot there. My guess is we'll definitely see Luigi's Mansion 4. I give that like an 80% chance. And then there's
Vincent does point out they made the soccer game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Strikers game. That's right. They did make that. So they are doing something else. That's a good point, Vincent. Thank you. But my guess is we'll probably see the new Luigi's Mansion. If not, that's something that we might see at the Game Awards later.
One or
in
the
the
other,
year.
probably the new game from this team, whatever it may be.
Yep. And then next is the Duskbloods, the game from Software that we've now discovered is like a PvEVP game, and it's just another kind of multiplayer spin-off of From Software.
I'll tell you, man, one of the most prevalent topics in all the Dark Souls and From Software and Elden Ring groups I'm in on Reddit and all that is just making fun of this game.
Really?
They have no interest in it.
I think a lot of people said that about Night Rain, and they were full of shit. And they all bought it, and it sold like gangbusters.
It was not all like this.
They rejected it. The fans rejected Night Rain.
Not in those groups. They were all very excited about it. Yeah. And I thought it was going to be like a minor thing. It was, okay, these are the hardcore of the hardcore. There's not that many of them.
Yeah.
And that translated
Well, they
into
did line up
success.
and buy it. It sold like over 10 million units.
They
and
were
still
into
going.
it.
Interesting.
Like there was some skepticism. It wasn't like a universal thing, but I have not seen a single person.
Well, why do they hate this? Because it's basically the same thing, but for Switch 2.
I mean, Switch 2 has a lot to do with it because they don't want to have to buy a new system just for this. Because a lot of them can't afford it, or all of them don't want to switch.
I see. Because they're just From fans, and they're like, oh, I can't play a From Software game.
And a lot of them are, again, some of them put up with it with Night Rain, but a lot of them are just like, I don't want this to be a multiplayer focused thing. Like Night Rain was one thing, but I don't want them to just do this over and over again. Now I want a big single player thing. And Night Rain was kind of okay because it was like a spin-off of Elden Ring, and it was sort of like, okay, you got to have this big experience with Elden Ring, and then there's a different way to experience it, sort of thing. Whereas the whole experience is the online co-op thing, and they aren't really into that.
Okay.
But the main thing is I don't want to spend $450, now $500, to buy one system for this one thing because I don't care about Nintendo. I just care about this. So a lot of people were kind of resigned to the idea that maybe this will come out for other platforms.
And it probably will.
Probably will.
Yeah.
But like, not a lot of interest in this so far.
Okay. Next up, Fire Emblem Fortune's Fate. We're going to get a blowout of this game. I think this is going to be one of the marquee games in this whole thing.
Yeah.
There's going to be a huge gameplay section. They're going to announce
September, so it's the right time.
I don't think they've announced a release date, have they?
The word is September.
Okay, which makes sense. But this game definitely is going to be blown out big time in the direct. They're going to show gameplay. They're going to announce its release date. I hope it's good. I really do. The last Fire Emblem was not reviewed very well. It was one of the lowest reviewed Fire Emblems in quite a while. So hopefully this is a return to form. But we'll see.
I went back to that one last summer, I think. And
did
actually, I liked it a lot better when I went back to it than I did the original.
I liked it when I played it, but fans did not. It was kind of rejected.
It was a weird thing, like with the summons and like the old, kind of like, it's very meta about the, these are historical heroes from other dimensions or something. It was a very weird thing. It got a little odd. Like sometimes this series goes a little too Saturday afternoon anime series with it, and this looks like more of a return to sort of the medieval like sword and sandal thing that sort of made it what it was.
Yep.
We'll hope that it kind of pulls that off.
Yep.
You never quite know. You're always going to get kind of the baseline, turn-based strategy stuff. But
that's going to be great on its own.
Yeah. But like, it's kind of one of those things where it's like sometimes the theming can really turn you off.
Yeah.
Or be really interesting.
It's the X factor for
like
sure.
Three Houses was really interesting.
Yeah, it was.
Whereas like
the last one wasn't.
Yeah, I thought it was all right, but like I understand why people would bounce off of it.
Yeah. And then Star Fox for Switch 2, it's going to come out on the 25th of June.
Yeah.
You think that maybe they show a new trailer or something?
Something like, I mean, they'll definitely mention, hey, you can go buy this next week or whatever, or yesterday.
Just a reminder.
Depending on when they...
Depending on when it is.
Yeah.
And then the final game is Splatoon Raiders. This game has actually been in the rundown for GameFace for the last 3 weeks straight. But it has always been one of the last topics that we've never got to. Because Nintendo did blow this out already and explain what it is. And it is a single-player spin-off of Splatoon.
We're not even going to get to Yoshi today.
No, well, we will. Because we're done. This is the last game. Yeah. But are you excited for a single-player Splatoon?
No.
Well, you didn't care about multiplayer Splatoon, so I thought you might care about single-player.
No, I don't. Whatever.
Yeah.
Not really interesting to me.
I do like Splatoon a lot, but it has gotten to the point where I can't compete online anymore, where I'm just not good enough because I don't play it often enough. Like I went and tried to play it like 4 months ago, and I could not even get a kill. That's how good. And now it's like the meta has just taken over, and everybody's like the loadouts people were using. I didn't even recognize the guns that they were using. I was like, yeah, this game has moved on without me. That's definitely what's happened. But anyway, this game was just recently blown out, and so my guess is they're probably not going to focus on it too much in the direct. They'll probably just show a new trailer, or maybe it shows a new mode or something like that. That would be my guess. So there you go. That is the lay of the land for Nintendo for Not E3 2026. And I see we just got a super chat over on YouTube. And from CFHX, thank you for answering my question last week regarding how you're publishing your content and its effect on the algorithm. So, CFHX, you just gave us another super chat for $14 Canadian just to thank us for answering your question last week. That's freaking awesome, man. Thank you. If you have a question, like, hit us up, man. We'll answer it. Any super chat, we answer 100%. So just get in there and hit us up if you want to. Nintendo's lineup, okay. Again, without the 3D Mario, without the next Zelda, I think no matter what it shows, people are going to be disappointed. So it'll be interesting to see if one of those two makes it in there. But you're probably right. Like it probably won't show either one of them, and then people are going to be pissed off, and they're going to go on the internet and act like buffoons, which is what we all do, at least part of the time, but not all the time. But that's it. There you go. That is our preview of Not E3 / Summer Game Fest 2026. I mean, I think this looks like an awesome E3. Like, we just went through a lot of awesome games, and a lot of games that there's a lot of wonder about.
Right, now dial it back to what is actually shown.
Right. I mean, it could be that it's awful, but based upon what we just went through, like, it could be a killer E3. And all the balls on the tee.
What's it going to take to get you to stop calling it E3?
I'll always call it E3. Until there's as many years without an E3 as there was an E3, and I'll be dead by then. So I'm always going to call it E3. What else should we call it, though?
I don't know. June gloom.
All right. Anyway, there you go.
Pactor's non-party.
You know what? He told me that Keeley contacted him and tried to have him throw his party for his little Summer Game Fest thing. And Pactor...
No, who's coming into town for that? Like, maybe for Game Awards.
Well, that's exactly what he said. He's like, nobody comes into town, so why would I do it? And then he said to him, well, what about the Game Awards? And Keeley throws his own party for the Game Awards. So,
exactly.
So Pactor said he politely declined. So anyway, there you go. That's E3.
Sir, I must decline. I love the idea of them meeting in like some field with like the Victorian ruffles. It's like,
my good son.
How are you, good sir? Let's be chums.
Yeah. Anyway, there you go. That's E3 2026, our preview. And then our final topic for this week's episode of GameFace is our review of Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. And I just want to say right off the top that is the dumbest effing name for a game ever. And I think it was a huge mistake to call this game that, but...
Like, you could have just... It sounds like Yoshi and the book he hadn't read.
Right. Yeah. It's just so unexciting, and it just sounds boring. And this game is anything but. In fact, I'm going to say...
Yoshi and the Book of Death.
In fact, I'm going to say right off the top here that this is the best Yoshi game since the SNES games. And I do realize that...
Yoshi's Island?
Yes. And I do realize there hasn't been a ton of stiff competition since then, but like Woolly World has like a 7.9 aggregate or whatever. I think this is like an 8.1 aggregate, but to me, this game is way better than Woolly World or any of the last several Yoshi games that have come out. So the setting for this game and the plot of this game is stupid and pointless, and it's so stupid and pointless, Matt, that halfway through, this is so hilarious, halfway through the game, they end it.
Yeah.
they end the plot, and you think the game is over, and it's not over. And in fact, you're only about halfway done. You finish at 6 worlds, and then the cutscene finishes, and the story wraps up, and then the next thing you know, there's 4 other worlds to go through. It's like Nintendo was like, yeah, this story is dumb as shit.
Like outside of the book?
Yes.
Like you're not in the book anymore?
Well, no, it's like you have to. Like the whole structure of the game is inside the book, so you have to. But after you finish the game, the book's like, well, gee willikers, there's a couple other worlds I got here in my pages if you want to go and check them out.
I forgot to tell you about chapter 2. Like, what?
I mean,
it didn't make any sense.
I mean, that's pretty much what it is. So the plot in this is like Bowser Jr. and Kamek? I don't know how you say that name.
Sure.
Kamek.
It's a made-up word. You can say it however you want.
Yeah. They're trying to find this mythical bird.
Harkonnen?
Yeah. They're trying to find this mythical bird that's supposed to have all this power or whatever. And so it's a race between Yoshi and Bowser Jr. to get to the bird first. And that's pretty much the setup for the whole game. Like at the beginning.
Swanland says, I never read a book with 4 epilogues. You haven't read Lord of the Rings?
Exactly. Yep. So that's the basic plot of the game. And before each chapter, there's a cutscene where you run into Bowser Jr. and Kamek, and they say, "Oh, you haven't got that bird yet. We're gonna get it first." And then they run away, and then you fight them as a boss fight several times throughout the game, and that's pretty much it. So the plot in this is pointless. It really doesn't make any sense. Yoshi lands in this strange world. There's a book there and I don't want to spoil why he's there, because that's the big revelation that you learn when the game ends is why he was there. But basically, there's this book that has been chronicling. He's kind of like an encyclopedia. He chronicles creatures and wildlife. And something happened that I'm not going to spoil, and he's lost a lot of his information on the various animals that he's collected throughout his time being alive. Is that what he is as a book?
Sure.
And so he tasks Yoshi and the crew of Yoshi.
He's a living document.
Yeah, he is.
And then he undoes his belt and opens up and lets everyone inside.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Sure.
And so basically what happens is he wants Yoshi and the crew of Yoshis to go into the book and investigate all these creatures and basically fill in the research and the information around each of these creatures. So how it works is, and I'm going to pause this very quickly here.
So he's like a busted-ass Pokedex.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, actually. That is really what it is. So how it works is he'll open his page or his book up, and this is the page for this entire chapter. And as I said, there's 10 total. You only have to finish 6 to finish the game, but then there's 4 more after that. And the whole chapter is handled right here on these 2 pages. And so right now, there's just the one creature there. There's the flower. But so you choose the flower, you go into the level, and as you play through that level, you discover factoids about the flower, things that it can do, things that it can't do, and that fills in the pages of his book. Once you finish that stage with that creature, you go back to the book, and then these pages here come alive and animate, and a new creature will appear on these pages. You put your little magnifying glass over that creature, and then you go and play through that level as that creature. And basically how the whole game is structured is there are 30 or 40 stages, and each stage you basically play as just one creature. Now, as you get further into the game, there's some stages where they'll throw in maybe 1 or 2 other creatures, and then the final stage is you're using all the creatures in one stage, and it clearly demonstrates why the game didn't do it, because all you do is sit and look at the list of creatures trying to figure out which one to use, and it's just boring and stupid. So the way Nintendo has designed it instead is 1 creature per chapter, basically. You learn that creature, you master that creature, go back to those 2 pages in the book, a new creature appears on those pages, and then you go and play that one. And you go on, there's probably 6 creatures per chapter, so you play through like 6 different sections before you complete that chapter. Once you complete that chapter, you fight a boss, then you move on to the next chapter, which is generally like a new theme. So this chapter is just like the woodlands or whatever. The next one after this may be a water world. The next one after that may be outer space or whatever. And it's all within the context of whatever creature is in that level. So basically, after all that, what this game does is it provides just about every single form of 2D gameplay that you can imagine. Any that's ever come before and any that will come after this, they have literally squeezed 2D gameplay for every ounce that it's worth. And basically how it works is each creature has a very specific moveset or things that it can do. And you learn how to master that, and then you move on to the next one, which is a brand new creature. Like, no two levels in this game ever play the same. And I'll be honest with you, of the 40 levels, like, all of them are awesome except for maybe like 5 or 6. Like, one level you get like a mouse, which you just throw into crevices and he crawls through crevices for you. That's kind of stupid. You get another one where you have like these pogo sticks and they act as springs that like fly you all over the level. That's kind of annoying. But otherwise, all of them are awesome. And they all are completely different in how they control, how they interact with the worlds. Because that's a big part of it too. Like, each creature provides you power-ups, but it also affects the world. Like, you can see right there, it just created that beanstalk or whatever. Later on, there's creatures that you play as where there's bunches of trees, and if you jump through the trees, it creates fruit on all the trees. Like, it's just like each stage is just this interactive painting almost that you can affect with the abilities of the creature that you've been assigned in that level. And ultimately what it results in is a 2D game where you're never doing the same thing for more than like 5 or 10 minutes at a time. It's just constantly changing and evolving. The visuals in this game are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you're only seeing this first level right now, but as you get into the game, like, this art style is just stunning. I really hope that they stick with this into the future. The other thing I would say too is the way that they've designed this Yoshi game, it allows it to be playable for both adults and kids. Prior Yoshi games have always, other than like the SNES ones, have been so easy that like playing it with like your kids or whatever, it was just a joke. But the way this game is designed, there are some missions in this that are hard. Like, you have to do them over and over again, like platforming gauntlets where you have to do everything exactly right. My guess is kids probably can play through it too. But if you're talking about 3 and 4-year-olds, like, they probably can't. But only adults can play through it. So it's optional as well. You don't have to complete every single creature in every chapter. Basically, how the game is gated is by the stars that you collect. So see that little thing there that causes blooming when tossed? When you completed the objective that caused that to appear, you got these like star bits for it. So every little mission that you accomplish inside the major missions give you these star bits. And that star bit total is what gates the entire game. So by the time I was in the 3rd chapter, I could have jumped to the 6th chapter and finished the game if I wanted to. But the game, I was enjoying it so much and just wondering what was around the next. I had no interest in doing that at all. I played every stage of this game. Every single one. I didn't get 100%. There was a handful, because the other thing too is that if you accomplish major objectives inside each one of these levels, you get flowers, but the flowers don't really do anything. Like, I haven't really figured out what the point of them is, other than saying, hey, I accomplished the hardest parts of this. So when I finished it, so you can see there was 3 on that stage, Wildwoods, and I only got 1 my first time through. So there's absolutely reason to kind of keep going back and like replaying if you want 100% it. I didn't. You don't need to get all the flowers, and you don't need to collect all the bits to make progress. So I ended up playing the whole game in every stage, and I think I finished the game with like 800 bits or something like that, and there was just hundreds and hundreds more that I could have collected. So it's great for young people. It's great for older people. I also think younger players will appreciate that it focuses on one character and one concept at a time. And each level does a great job of building out your experience and skill at using that as well. It starts out very simple. By the time you get to the last flower, you are working it. Like, you are making the most out of that creature that you're controlling. And it's just very expertly designed. Like, I just flowed through this game, man. Like, I started playing it. I did not want to stop, and I just cruised right on through it. Now, my big caveat with this game is its length. Now, like I said, you can go back and try to collect all the flowers and all the star bits or whatever and try to 100% it. That's not something I'm into. If you play like a normal person, you're going to get through this game in less than 10 hours. And it's still...
the Yoshi's all the same. They're just...
Yeah, they're just colored differently. They don't do things differently, which took me a while to figure out. But yeah, they're all the same. It's just aesthetics, basically. So that's my big hang up with this game, is its price. Otherwise, this game is flipping awesome, man. Like, I'll just say this, too. Like, we talked about 420 games. I think it was last year on 420. Mm-hmm. This is a 420 game. This game is so freaking trippy. I wasn't on any drugs playing this game, and I thought I had taken acid at times. I'm not exaggerating. It is bonkers. Like, I don't know what these people were doing while they were making this game, but they were doing stuff that I'm not doing, because it is just crazy how thing after thing, like bizarre, psychedelic, off-the-wall craziness in this game. Like, there's so many times where I was playing this where I was like, am I really doing this right now? Like, is this really happening? And it just happens over and over and over again. Like, I love this game. Again, my only hang up with telling people to buy it is its length. And obviously, if you're looking at this game and you're like, I don't really like cutesy games that look like they're made for kids, that's going to be a stumbling block for you. But if you're someone who enjoys games of all types, games that are targeted at people of all ages, I think you're going to love this game because you can't hate it for very long. You play each creature for like 10 or 15 minutes, and if you don't like it, just stop and go to the next one because you don't have to finish each chapter to keep making progress and keep going through the game. So this, for me, and it's hard to believe we're almost at June already, but this, for me, has been one of the biggest pleasant surprises of 2026. Like, it is encouraging to see that Nintendo finally took some time to make a Yoshi game that has stuff in it that hasn't been in other Yoshi games other than just like, hey, here's this cool art style that we came up with. Like, that feels like what Yoshi games have been. The same game, picking stuff up, shooting stuff with the eggs, and that's all in here too. But prior Yoshi games, the last handful of them, have just been like, it's Yoshi, but with this new weird art style. And maybe we'll tie one little mechanic into that art style. This goes all in, man. It feels like Nintendo was like, you know what? These Yoshi games are losing their spark. They're not selling anymore. Like, just dive into the deep end and frickin' go for it. That's what this game feels like to me. Like, the team was like, man, let's forget about what we've done in the past with these Yoshi games, and let's just try something completely new. There's also great throwbacks to, like, classic Yoshi. Like, this is the last level, the remote isle, that you play in. It's the 6th one. So this is the last one you play before you technically finish the campaign. But just watching, like, these books come to life. Like, the story pages, when a new creature shows up, what happens is, like, the creature's level that you just finished will do something on the page to cause the new creature to appear. And it's fun just watching that stuff happen. So here you're seeing the full list of creatures that you play as. Again, each one of these, kind of like to Matt's point, are like Pokemon. They all do entirely different things. None of them replicate each other's abilities at all. And there's like 40 of them. And the last level does ask you to just, like, use them all and get through the level, and it was the worst level in the game. So I feel like it did that to say, okay, you've learned all this stuff, now put it all together into one level. And as a sign that Nintendo agrees with me, when you go to do the last 4 levels that they add on at the end, they don't play like that. They don't play like you use all the abilities. It goes back to just using one creature per level again. So even Nintendo agrees with me and was like, you know what? It doesn't work having all the abilities at once. It just makes the game arduous and a pain in the ass to play. So I love this game, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. I'm actually kind of surprised this Metacritic is barely higher than prior Yoshi games, because this wipes the floor with the last, like, 5 Yoshi games. Like, it's not even in the same league. So I'm sure a bunch of you guys read reviews, you're looking at the Metacritic, you're like, oh, it's just another Yoshi. It's not just another Yoshi game. It is not just another mediocre Yoshi game. So I don't know what other critics were thinking. They obviously were looking for different things from a Yoshi game than I did. Maybe they want the game to be traditional. I don't know. But to me, this game was amazing.
I think a lot of people just want Yoshi's Island 3, and that's that.
That could be too. And this is not that, for sure. It's not. But it's as good as, well, I wouldn't go that far. It's not as good as the Yoshi's Island games. Like, the SNES games are still the pinnacle for Yoshi games. But this is pretty darn close, man. Like, I had a blast playing this game. I didn't want it to end. And that was the worst part for me, was that it did eventually end earlier than I wanted it to. So, again, my one major complaint, the one major drawback for this is that it is a bit short, and it is a full-price game. And, as we say all the time on GameFace, Nintendo never really discounts its games. So would I tell people to buy this? Yeah. I mean, if what you just heard me say excited you, go buy it. Because it's even better than what I'm describing. Like, we're kind of crunched for time here, so I'm kind of trying to get through the information a lot quicker than I normally would talking about games on GameFace. So I'm not really getting an opportunity to really kind of go through all this stuff. But I will just say this, like, if you've kind of found yourself in a malaise over Yoshi games over the last few releases, which I totally understand, this game is 100% a breath of fresh air and fun from start to finish, even though it doesn't take all that long from start to finish. So there you go. That's Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. I feel like it's getting a raw deal out on the interwebs right now. It's better than an 8.1 in my opinion, the Metacritic average that it has right now. So if you just watch that B-roll and listen to me talk about the game and it got you excited, go and pick it up. So if you're on a budget, maybe wait and pray that Nintendo drops the price of it. Maybe the Metacritic average will keep it from selling, and maybe Nintendo will discount it quicker than other Nintendo games, but probably not. So if you like Yoshi, go buy this game. Like, if you're a Yoshi fan, go buy this game. You're going to flip and love it. I promise you. All right. And we are out of time, which means there's just... Whoa. I lost our clip. Which means that there is just one thing left to do. That's right. It's time for Name That Game Tune, brought to you by Soundwizardry.com, the absolute wizards in audio, game audio, show audio, film audio, podcast audio. Any sound that you got, they can fix it up and make it better. If you're working on a game right now and the sound sucks, you need to call Soundwizardry.com or just go to its website. You can see all their work there. They've worked on multiple Game of the Year winners. They are quality work and they are quality people. Go to Soundwizardry.com. And because they're such awesome people, they've let us play this awesome game called Name That Game Tune, where I play 5 audio samples from a video game. You try to guess the name of the game before this guy. There's only one rule, and that's that the chat goes into slow mode, so you can't spam the chat with a bunch of random game titles. But other than that, it's a free-for-all. You can play every week. In the past, once you won, you couldn't play anymore. Now you can play every single week. And we actually have some people building up some wins at this point. Is Emperor Gestal 84 there?
I think I did see him.
Is he? All right. He's in first place right now.
It's slow mode.
Yeah. Oh, what'd you say?
He's not going to say anything because it's slow mode.
Oh, right. He doesn't want to waste his chat. That's a good point. That's hilarious. Okay, let me get the interface set up for Name That Game Tune. Folks on YouTube, thank you very much for checking out the show today. We're here every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. Please come back. We'd love to see you guys. Thank you for your support, no matter what it is, whether you're liking the show, giving us super chats. All that stuff is awesome. Thank you guys very much. But if you want to play Name That Game Tune, you do have to go over to twitch.tv/SIFTDgames because we can only play with one chat at a time. Okay. Are you ready to play Name That Game Tune?
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys ready to play Name That Game Tune? Here's the first sample in 3, 2, 1. Any guesses on the first one? Body Harvest? No. Ian, were you here when we did Body Harvest? Did you miss it or were you here? I don't remember. Was he here when we did it?
I don't know.
I think he may have missed it, actually. Spore, no.
I mean, I got it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, which is funny. Resident Evil 2, no. Expedition 33, no. Zet Saber, you don't have to go at SIFTD Games for this. You're totally cool just putting in the title. Transformers Devastation, no. Yes, I saw it. It was amazing. Okay, Ian. Awesome, man. SimCity 4, no. Beyond Good and Evil, no. Abe's Odyssey, that's not it. Spirit Fair, no. Emperor Gestal, getting on the board. Theme Hospital, nope. Any last guesses? I'm always surprised how many people guess on the first clue. Hollow Knight Silksong, no. Because it's designed that nobody gets it. But people guess like crazy on the first one. They always do. Any last guesses before we go on to the next one? Going once. Cocoon, no. Celeste, no. Hollow Knight, someone already guessed, no. Going once. Oh, Kanye West self-title game. Nope, that's not it either. All right, going once. Going twice. Sold. Here's the second sample in 3, 2, 1.
This is a fist hump. Just going through the motions.
You're probably right.
Goose
Let's just
Game,
get it over
no.
and done.
Evil Within, no.
Hey, I didn't hear the end of that because you started talking.
I'll play it again. Here it is.
This is a fist hump. Just going through the motions.
You're probably right. Let's just get it over and done.
Metal Gear Solid 4, no. We have a winner. It's Zet Saber. It is L.A. Noire. Great job, Zet Saber. Way to get on the board. Oh, right after that, Reyes got in right after. Unfortunately, you were a little late, Reyes. I think that's how you say his name. ZX Reyes. Great job, Zet Saber. It is L.A. Noire. Awesome, man. Cole Phelps, yep. I'll play the rest of the samples just to show you guys the game is on the up and up. Here's the third one. And I think that's just a sound when you discover a clue. Yeah. Here's the fourth one.
A city on the verge of greatness.
Mad Men, but I'm
A Nintendo city based on
But you should have been like, there is one, and it's L.A. Noire. And here's the final one.
They really pushed you through quick,
Yeah.
didn't they? 6 years on patrol before I got this desk. You were here in 5 minutes. What do you want me to say? I didn't ask for any favors.
And that last one definitely would have given it up. Great job, Zed Saber. Congratulations. I will add you to the leaderboard. Your first win in Name That Game Tune for 2026. Awesome job, my friend. All right. That's going to do it for GameFace. 481 right here on Sifted at sifted.net. A big thanks to everybody who showed up live at twitch.tv/siftedgames or youtube.com/siftedgames. I couldn't imagine doing this show offline. Could you?
I mean, we have.
I mean, we have, but it sucks, man, compared to like having people like bouncing off of in our chat and everything. You guys are flipping awesome. So thank you guys for showing up. And we're here every Tuesday, although next week we are going to start a half hour later. Don't forget, people. Also, if you're interested in supporting us in some way, head on over to patreon.com/sifted. For just $5 a month at patreon.com/sifted, you get all our content early. You get this show at least 3 days early. You get Pachter Factor a week early. Actually, now we have a show called the Shane Satterfield Show that is 100% exclusive to our patrons. You only get that show if you are a patron. So there's definitely huge value in being a patron at patreon.com/sifted. And if you can't help us out with that, you can always help us with Twitch Prime if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber. Just link your Twitch account with your Amazon Prime account. Once you do that, which takes like a couple minutes, after that, with 3 clicks, you can give us a free $2.50 every single month. And you do have to re-up it every month, which sucks. We totally get it. But if you're watching on YouTube, you're trying to figure out how to do that, go down below. There are instructions step by step, teach you how to do that. It's free. It costs you nothing. You're giving us a free $2.50 and you're taking it from Bezos. That's got to feel great. Taking money from Jeff Bezos and giving it to us, to your favorite podcast, that would be awesome. And if you don't have Amazon Prime, you can still help us so many ways. You can just like the show, comment on the show, share the show, review the show on podcast services, comment on the show on Spotify. All that stuff makes a difference and can help us out big time. So, man, next week's show is going to be gigantic. I mean, we're going to review 007 First Light, which is one of the biggest games of the year. And we're going to have the live PlayStation, not E3, 2026 press conference. It's going to be an awesome show. Hope to see you there. And again, we'll be here at twitch.tv/siftedgames or youtube.com/siftedgames. So that's going to do it for GameFace 481. Everyone have yourselves a great week filled with great games. GameFace is up and out.